It's loading. Okay, we should be live now. Let me just double check on my other computer.
We are. It says live on StreamYard.
Okay, awesome.
We should be at least.
So today, we're doing a live stream, not something we do that often on my channel. And this is also the first time I've ever had anybody on my channel. So everyone say hello to PokemonDNA. I hope you, feel super special. Do you want to just introduce yourself? Maybe tell us your real name so, we have something to call you by.
Yeah, for sure. So my name's Colin. I feel honored that I'm the first guest on your channel. So thanks for having me on. But yeah, I live in Nashville. I got back in the hobby about 3 years ago. So probably seriously about 3 to 4 months, pre-boom, I guess you could say. I mainly collect Japanese cards. That's kind of my niche. I collect PSA 10 Japanese e-reader for anybody who doesn't know me. So that's kind of my area of the hobby. Excuse me, my area of the hobby that I gravitate towards. But yeah, I know we just kind of talked for the first time. I believe it was yesterday, and here we are doing a live. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah, well, no time like the present, am I right?
Absolutely.
So we just wanted to do a live really to just kind of chat. I think we're going to have a few people on during this, because why not start with a bang for the first one? We can have as many people who are willing come on as possible. And so we just wanted to, kind of do a Q&A. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to throw them in the comments. But I think it's just interesting hearing perspectives from different people in the hobby, because obviously I think both of our experiences are different than a lot of people who are probably watching this or who make these types of videos in general, just because we are a bit on the younger side. Colin is 24 and I'm 21 for everyone's reference. So, didn't grow up with base set. And so I think a lot of people, maybe are curious about your perspective on those types of things and what drew you to Japanese in the first place instead of English.
Yeah. So I'll kind of share my backstory of how I got into the hobby or how I was introduced, back as a kid. So I don't play a lot of video games. I did play, I think it was Emerald. That's what I gravitated towards, and that's what I grew up with. But so I played a little bit of games, but I actually never opened up a pack of cards as a kid. I think the one thing that it did open up was probably an unlimited starter deck Kaiba. I collected Yu-Gi-Oh! More as a kid than Pokemon, but when I got back into the hobby, I realized how difficult the variants are to, I guess you could say, discern or pick out the different types of rarities inside of Yu-Gi-Oh! And I can't pronounce some of the character names, so it makes it a lot more difficult as an entry point, where Pokemon was really easy. So all the Pokemon cards that I had as a kid, it was all hand-me-downs from my brother. So he had a binder, I got his binder, all of his old toys, old clothes, stuff like that. So the card, as far as Pokemon goes, it's most nostalgic for me would be base set Machamp from the starter deck that literally everybody owned at one point. But yeah, so that's how I got into the hobby, or I guess you could say introduced into it. And then when I got back in about 3 years ago, the YouTube algorithm got me. Leon Hart, all the big popular PokeTubers just shoved in my face, and I guess it just clicked. And started watching, slowly started, taking in more content and just really starting to enjoy the hobby. What's good, man? What's good?
What's up? Hi.
We've got our first guest already.
Yeah.
I got a glass of wine. Cheers.
Cheers. But yeah, so the reason that I started collecting Japanese, I really didn't start getting heavy into it until probably a year or about 18 months ago. And the reason that I got into it was because I'm not really nostalgic for a lot of these arts. And people bring up nostalgia a lot, and they're like, I collect this because this is what I grew up with as a kid. And I'm a condition snob. I'm one of those PSA 10 label buyers. You can call me whatever you want, but I do like to collect PSA 10 cards. But the more I looked into it, the more I realized how much I would have to budget and how much, how unattainable some of these items were that I really wanted. If I wanted to have a Expedition Mew or, an Expedition Charizard PSA 10, I'm spending, 5 figures at that point. And I don't know if I like those cards enough. And that's something that I really, really want to spend that much money on, because there's a lot more you can do with $10, $12, $15,000 than have a piece of cardboard sitting in your room. So I gravitated towards Japanese because they're a tenth of the price in some scenarios. I don't know if you know what Gixin is. We can get into that later, but I just throw out a bunch of bids, like, low ball bids on all the Japanese e-reader auctions that come through. And if I win, I'm surprised and I'm happy. And if I lose, there's another one that's going to come up with specific cards. So it's just the barrier of entry, I guess, more or less, is why I got into collecting that, because I like the art and I like the condition of the card.
Yeah, so when you're buying those auctions, are you usually buying raw cards that you think are like pretty minty, or are you buying mostly graded cards?
So I've definitely done my fair share of grading. None of the Japanese e-reader that I own, I've graded myself. I've actually graded a lot more English into PSA 9, PSA 10, and sold those cards and funded Japanese e-reader, because the thing is, there's two issues, and it might sound kind of ignorant here, I guess you could say, or it might sound kind of silly, but when you're looking at like Japanese crystals, for instance, your raw price is extremely expensive. I mean, you're spending, at some points, I mean, there's like raw crystal Lugias for like $2,000, like ungraded, that are like minty copies. And your risk reward isn't that big. And obviously you can get in lower and spend $400 or $500, but if you spend that much and you're using proxy shipping services or whatever it is, you're not gonna, there's just a lot of risk involved if that does hit the 9 when you're trying to obtain that 10. And on the flip side is a lot of the lesser popular cards like Ledian and Kingdra and some of these other cards that are in regular holo form, they're around $200. So yeah, you can pick up a raw copy for $5 or $10 and you can grade it, but at that point it's like, I would much rather grade cards that I feel more comfortable with buying and are more easily attainable that I can make the profits on, and then in turn buy those cheaper cards. You do have cards that are in the middle, like the Inte, for example, from Wind from the Sea, that's $300-$400, and you do have some middle era cards, but a lot of the cards are either at that high price point or they're at that low price point. So in opening up packs, it makes 0 sense with Japanese, but that's a whole other side topic.
Yeah, no, for sure. Before I bought the Crystal Lugia that I have, I considered buying it in Japanese, hoping that it would be cheaper and that I could potentially just grade it myself. And I was shocked, like even going through Bai or some other service to buy from sellers actually in Japan, it was so expensive. Like the risk reward just didn't make sense, especially because you're committing so much time just trying to get the cards to you. Even it's going to take up a lot of time, and then you have to grade it. So it definitely makes sense. I understand why you're buying them already graded, and I can't judge you for liking the PSA 10s. There's no shame in that. You're definitely not alone in that, at least. But it's definitely a bit on the pricier side, I must say. Japanese, though, it helps mitigate it.
Yeah.
Also, we do have Professor Oak on, so do you want to just give yourself, a brief introduction as well so everyone knows who you are? I'm sure most people already know.
Hey, everyone. Professor Oak. I'm in a good mood tonight. Yeah, I am a collector. I collect cards, Pokemon cards, mostly in slabs. I got a few binders that I collect, some illustrators that I collect. Definitely some superstars in the chat tonight. I see a lot of familiar faces, familiar aliases going on there. Yeah. Tipsy Oak. No, not Tipsy Oak. I've literally just poured my first one. I'm not usually starting this late, but yeah, I just poured my first glass of wine. I'm just in a good mood. Ready for the weekend.
Yeah. Where are you located at, by the way?
Say again?
Where are you located, by the way?
I am just south of Tampa. I just have I got a weird accent for a Florida boy. That's all. I'm from England, so.
Okay, I was going to say, because if that's like an accent people in Florida actually have, that's really wild. But that makes more sense. I was like, is it that late in the UK right now?
Yeah, I have met some people that thought I was like doing the accent for a joke. And they're like, okay, like you can stop doing that now. Like that's annoying. And I'm like, no, wait, like I do actually talk like this. This is my actual voice.
It's gotta hurt when people think your real voice is an annoying accent.
Yeah, it was rough.
Okay, I get made fun of all the time for being from Wisconsin, even though I don't think I have a super strong accent. I say some weird words, but I think I'm pretty normal overall.
Yeah, you sound very clear. You've got much better diction than I have, for sure. Yeah, very clear.
Thank you. It's my greatest skill. So what do you collect specifically? Like, what are you into? What do you like? Are you more into like flipping, or what's like your niche?
Flipping and Professor Oak, not to interrupt, but like when I hear the word flipper and I hear the word Professor Oak, that's like complete opposite terms. He's like the truest collector out there for sure.
Yeah, I have flipped. Like I'm not averse to it, but I mean Pikachu's already blown up in the chat. I collect Pikachu's, so it's I guess you would say a bit of a, I don't know, obsession, passion, love, whatever. That's my thing. I collect Pikachu's. I got binders, I got card savers, I got slabs, I got, everything. I just kind of love Pikachu. I love Mew, I love Ditto. There's a few Pokemon that I like. I just generally like Pokemon, all things Pokemon. Guys were like, I had some funny messages. I bought some socks. I did a mail day video and I featured a pair of socks that I bought with Pikachu on it. And, I got a few laughs from that, I think. But I think just generally I'm a collector. Most of the original stuff that I'd been buying, the earlier stuff, was funded by selling stuff. Some stuff was bought, sold, things I'd invested in before, whatever. There was a little bit of flipping at the time, but flipping in terms of cracking and selling stuff, or I don't know, a couple of Pokemon Center exclusive things, that kind of stuff. So that's more been to fund my obsession rather than to make a profit. I think most people that are flipping are doing it to either buy a cool card that they want, like I was, or to make a profit. And I'm one of the ones that kind of does it to fund my own obsession. So
yeah, no, that's really awesome. Also, I can't judge. I'm wearing socks with Pikachu on them right now. Not going to show that to the stream, obviously.
You've got to.
No, we're good.
Absolutely.
This isn't that kind of stream. But
okay. No, I don't mean like a foot weirdo thing. I just meant because of like it being Pokemon.
Oh no, don't worry about it. No, but it's interesting because I think all three of us probably have pretty different perspectives. Because PokemonDNA, I feel like you probably sell the most out of all of us for sure. And
I'm a net seller for sure as of the last like 3 or 4 months.
Yeah.
Net buyer.
And then you're like fully collector, and I'm somewhere in between. I don't do a lot of flipping, but like obviously I buy purchases like with the financial aspect in mind, because that's also just part of what makes the hobby fun for me. I'm sure pretty much everyone here saw Pokenomics stream last night, but Jake was raising the question whether or not that ruins the hobby for you. I don't know what you guys think about that. Like, do you enjoy that aspect of it, or do you think it takes away?
You want to go first, DNA? I know I just talked for a little bit.
Yeah, sure. That doesn't make a difference to me. No, I don't think it takes away from it at all. I see Retros in chat. He has a meme about money ruining the hobby. I think he thinks it's kind of funny. But no, I think money brings a different aspect to it. And I've talked about this here recently. I think it was actually on Retro and I were on my channel talking about this. But I think it's really cool when you can look at something and how much it's worth and the rarity of it. I think it adds an additional level of kind of uniqueness to it, because every single card has a different barrier of entry. And when you look at something and it's I worked really hard to obtain this item, whether it be through flipping stuff or at your job or whatever it is, I think it makes things kind of cool. Now, is it frustrating when you have people coming in and spending $50,000 on a Torchic Gold Star because they think that's a good investment, or buying the top Sun Charizard and getting obliterated by $200,000 or whatever it is? Yeah, that's a little frustrating, and in my opinion, just because it's just like pure speculation, and it's bringing people who didn't have any interest other than the money side. But I think if you can kind of walk the fine line and you can find your balance, just like everything in life, you can find your balance of flipping and collecting. I think as long as you're doing both, we can be really healthy about it. Because if you're just collecting, the hobby gets really expensive really fast.
Yeah, for sure. Professor Oak, do you want to go, and then I'll say my opinion?
Yeah, kind of touching, bouncing off a little bit what DNA said. I definitely think there's a difference between flipping and scamming. I've definitely seen some scamming and some dodgy, shady stuff these past couple of years, since there has been so many potential victims, I guess you would call it. I have seen some pretty rough things. You know, I don't like throwing names out there, but someone was just talking in Pokenologist stream earlier about another specific YouTuber and some of the things that they do, and that's disheartening for me. Whereas I think, you know, a couple of things like I did, I got the special delivery Bidoof, I graded it, I got it in a 10, and I sold it. I consider that a flip in a sense, like, but I didn't do anything like nefarious. I literally graded a card that I got for free, listed it for 99 cents on eBay, and it sold for what it sold for. And I think there's definitely a difference between doing that, like the money part of it to fund what I wanted to do next with that money, and going to Walmart, stripping the shelves and throwing $5 on top, making inventory scarce and sparse for other people. There was no way that someone could have gotten that Bidoof card other than the way that I got it. So it was more, I was opening up an opportunity for the market almost. It was like kind of the opposite. So I don't feel guilty about that at all. But there's definitely blurred lines and different opinions and stuff going on there. I kind of wanted to jump in Jake's stream last night, but I couldn't. I think it's interesting that there were different opinions and different views, and there was, you know, half a dozen or so different people jumped in and spoke on it. It was pretty fun. I know DNA, you were on there, right? I mean,
I was just on to Thrifty. She's talking about Shikishi. Yeah. Would you ask me? Sorry.
I was just saying you jumped in last night, which I was excited to see you jumping on that conversation, because I thought that was an important one for people that are really in the hobby, like really in it. Like, and I mean the hobby, like you're invested in cards, you appreciate artwork, you appreciate, you know, artists and sets and stuff like that. People going to Walmart grabbing cards, you know, boxes and selling them aren't in the hobby. Like, just because they're touching that stuff doesn't mean you're in it. You're not in this community. You're not in this hobby.
I think you're anti-hobby if you're doing that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's a net negative for sure. It's toxic, and I think that's why the people in. There's been a couple of people said stuff recently. Like, I don't want to like make a big deal, but like there's a little community in a particular Discord that like are good people, and they're in the hobby, and they care about the hobby, and that really shines for me. It's like uplifting seeing that stuff. So, you
showing your Discord? What are we doing?
No, why did you say mine? I was trying to say mine.
That was my thought immediately. But this, you know, the stream wouldn't be happening if it weren't for that Discord. So like you're doing God's work out there.
Drink to that.
No, but I definitely agree with you guys. And I feel like part of the debate comes because people are talking about different things, right? Like, I feel like investing in the hobby is also like entirely separate from flipping. And flipping, I think, also has a few distinct categories. Like, investing is obviously like, I'm buying something to hold for a long time. But personally, like, I'm not buying things that I also don't want, you know, and I'm not trying to like entirely maximize it, because if I were, like, obviously flipping is like much more lucrative. But then even within that, like you were saying, Professor Oak, like, you know, when you're buying something, like you're getting like a single or something and you're going to grade it, you're not just like ripping somebody off, especially when you're listing it for 99 cents, because you're also performing a service, and like you are taking on some level of risk, like by grading that card, because like you're having to pay some cost there and you're putting in some work, and like it may come back and not be a great grade. Whereas if you're just going,
I know,
and immediately flipping it, that's like entirely different, especially when you're trying to charge like obviously like ridiculous prices. So for me, like the financial aspect is like one of my favorite parts of it, because like that's just who I am. Like, you know, I make spreadsheets in my free time, so I really like trying to optimize things. And also, like, as a collector, like you naturally want things that are exclusive and rare, and that costs money. And so when you're trying to build a great collection, like if you're really serious about that, I think naturally you kind of start thinking about the financial aspect of it, and like, how can I grow my collection like as quickly as possible for like the least amount of money, or how can I get this card, you know?
Yeah, very, very wholesome response. I think we can probably both agree with that. It makes a lot of sense. I think the one aspect in terms of the financial part is I do feel, which I worry a little bit about for the future, is I do feel some people feel a little bit of pressure and stress around the financial part of it, of I want something and I'm going to buy it even though maybe I shouldn't because I can't quite afford it, or maybe I shouldn't buy this many of it, or, you know, whether it's a box or a single or a graded card or whatever. I have seen people do things they shouldn't have, and I've been guilty of buying silly things. I got something in my mail day. You guys are going to kill me in my next video. It's a ridiculous purchase. But yeah, there's some stuff where you're like, it's okay to like make mistakes. It's okay to like spend money every so often, but don't get sucked into it. Like, you got to be realistic with it. Like, you don't have to spend every money you've got on your hobby just because that's your hobby. Like, buy one card a month, buy one card a week, buy, you know, whatever, buy it when you get paid. Like, it's still going to be there, even if it's a few dollar change. Like, the kind of cards those guys are buying aren't number one Pikachu trophies and illustrators. Like, let's get real. Like, we're in the hobby part. Like, we're buying cards that, you know, 2, 3, 4 digits, you know, those kind of stuff. Like max, you know, we're probably not buying 5-digit, you know, cards. Not that I'm aware of for Evo anyway. And definitely not for me. I'm not at that point yet. But that's not like the focal point of every day when I'm on eBay. I'm not looking for five-figure cards, you know.
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, I think it's like a lot of people, like, especially now after like 2020 and everything that's happened, like, have this mindset that as soon as they have some money, they should spend it as quickly as possible because that card they want might like triple in price tomorrow, which just isn't realistic. And also, like, that's definitely not a good way to live. But like that said, like, I've made purchases as a collector that I know are like stupid. Like, I've literally spent $40 on like opened packs to get an art set, and it's like literal garbage. You know, these are like wrappers for these like vintage packs. So I think, you know, it's really important to like be mindful of like the things that you're purchasing and whether or not you can afford them. But like sometimes, you know, I don't make every purchase based off of like how valid is it, like as an investment or like financially speaking. I do buy like stupid things sometimes, and I feel like it would be misleading to tell people that I don't.
Yeah, and I'll add to that is like, if you're coming out and you're saying I only make good financial decisions and I am a true collector, you're paying tax every single time you buy something. You're getting hit with fees when you sell on eBay. So I mean, there's ways to approach it. Obviously, if you know, you have to weigh out risk and stuff like that. But I mean, all of us have made stupid purchases in the hobby. But I mean, what's the difference between buying something that you can actually obtain and going out to a nice bar and spending $35 on a fancy cocktail? You're throwing away money. When Oak and I were talking earlier, and he was talking about how good of a deal he got on these big bottles of Jim Beam, and he was super stoked about it. So I mean, you can buy the cheap stuff, or you can, you know, buy the fancy stuff. But at the end of the day, you know, it's a part of life. And if you view life completely from a monetary aspect, you're not going to enjoy a lot of things. You're going to miss out on a lot of the wholesome moments.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, why go out and drink when you could stay home and drink on a live stream, you know?
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
You know,
no judgment, obviously.
For real, whether you're in it or watching it. Yeah, I mean, we're all involved right now. You know, a good example that is kind of like the flip of it too is the other night I was looking at a card. It was listed $19.99, right? $19.99, just to be clear, or best offer. And I threw him a best offer of $18. And then I was like after I did it, I couldn't undo it. But I was like, really? Did I really just try and like get $2 off from this guy? Like $2. Like, why did I even do? Why didn't I just buy it? It was like $19. Like, sometimes it's okay to spend an extra $2. Like, that's, especially with inflation, it's literally nothing right now. You know, I think we can all agree it's okay to lose a couple of bucks, like literally. And that would have been probably my only purchase this week. Like, I haven't had any big purchase, anything crazy going on this week. And I was like trying to sweat over $2. And then as soon as I had that self-awareness after, I was like, what am I doing? Like sometimes it's the exact opposite. Sometimes you got to be okay with spending a little bit extra just to do what you love. Like, just be okay, go with the flow, enjoy it. So I had a bit of a revelation after that. Weird, right? $2, but it really clicked with me. I don't know. What are you doing? Don't stress. Should have just bought it.
I want to say one thing real quick before she answers. And what I think is really funny is that I literally have one auction. The only things I auction aren't Pokemon items and stuff I don't know a lot about. I just upgraded my CPU on my computer, and the CPU market is still ridiculous because of all the after effects from the pandemic, and it's still going on, slowly going away with the new laws that have come into place, and that's a whole nother side topic. But I have that on auction, but everything else I buy it now, and I have it on best offer. And what's funny is if someone's like, "Hey, I'll give you $40 for this," I'm like, "Well, I want 45," and I always put .75, and it's really stupid. But legitimately, all of my accepted offers, because they're not going to counter for 75 cents, and it's still $45. It's kind of that weird area, so I just try to pick up the additional cents on every single sale, just because I'm cheap and I'm a penny pincher. But you're not going to lose a deal over 75 cents. So if I can pick it up, I'm going to take it. That's the way I view it. But just a weird thing I do.
Yeah, it's funny because also just talking about this outside of the hobby, because I feel like some people have really different spending habits in the hobby versus outside of it. Outside of the hobby, I'm so cheap, but it's so hard sometimes to take that step back and say maybe it is worth it to pay this little bit extra for I just bought a Brita the other day for $35, and that purchase killed me inside a little, but I was for some filtered water, because my tap doesn't even get cold, so if I want cold water, gotta have it in the fridge. I felt like a real adult when I purchased that. That's an adult purchase. But in the hobby, I feel like a lot of times that carries over, but then really when I step back, I'm spending so much on trading cards relative to other things in my life. So it's funny, that kind of dichotomy. I don't know how you guys are in your actual personal life with your spending, if it's similar, or if you're more mindful, you were saying, $2 isn't going to make that big of a difference.
I'll tell this story, and it's not my personal story, but it's someone. This is my brother. He's definitely cheaper than I am, but we both are really cheap. I have 3 pairs of shoes and that I wear often, and I buy the same one every 4 or 5 months because it's a white pair of shoes. And I search for I was I'm going to do this, and I look for 3 hours for the best deals online. And I typically go back and I'll do some price shopping because I can save $10-$20. If you go on Amazon, you want it next day, that same pair of shoes is legitimately $40-$50 more. So it's obviously good to utilize your tools and resources for stuff like that. But this is kind of non-Pokemon related. But he has a Traeger grill that's super nice. And his buddy is the most frugal person I've ever met my whole entire life. His buddy wanted the same grill. He messaged him and he was like, "Hey, just to let you know, I found this grill online for $100 cheaper than what you bought it for at Home Depot." So my brother reached out to Home Depot. It was on Amazon for Prime Day. And he goes, "Hey, can I get, $100 discount?" Because this was 20 days ago. They said, "Well, we don't price match." So he goes, "I'm still allowed to return it, right?" And they said, "Yeah." So he bought the same grill on Amazon, packaged that grill up that he bought on Amazon in the box that he bought from Home Depot, took it to Home Depot, got a refund, and then got $100 and kept his grill on his back patio. I was like, "You're such a cheap," I don't know if I can cuss on here or not, but I just thought it was really funny. But yeah, we're in a sense, he goes to an extra length, but I am pretty cheap.
I mean, that was almost hustling, right? I mean,
exactly,
that was
dude.
Money making, in a sense.
He's a very successful guy, very, very successful. And I was like, "You're going to go to that link for $100?" He's like, "Bro, it only took me 35 minutes. And I was like, "You're an idiot."
See, I'm sitting here thinking kind of wow, that's really smart.
Yeah.
Because for the amount of time that he spent, when you do the hourly wage on that, if it's 35 minutes, that's $150 an hour plus.
For sure.
So I would be I respect that. I wouldn't do that because I'm a little lazy. But someone was in the chat just now making fun of me for not having a microwave, because last night I was saying that, I'm really cheap. So in the building I live in, I don't have a microwave, I don't have AC, I don't have a dishwasher, I don't have a disposal. I'm also melting right now because it's so hot. But these are the types of things where I'm just no, I can do without. but like really wouldn't be that expensive in the grand scheme of things, especially when I compare it to, you know, how much I'm spending in other parts of my life. But it's really hard to get out of that like kind of like mindset of like I have to save everything, and if it's not going to something that I can see like holding its value or that type of thing, then like I just can't do it.
Did you say you were in Wisconsin or you're from Wisconsin?
I'm from Wisconsin, but I'm in Chicago right now.
Okay, that makes more sense. Yeah, Chicago's hot in the summer. Chicago was where I landed. It was 10 years ago last week. I landed in Chicago when I first came to America, and it was 104 degrees. It was a heat wave, and there was no AC in the building. And I just landed from England, never felt heat like that, and I thought I was going to die. I literally thought it was the end of the world. So, yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. DNA, what you just said about the story with the grills is kind of funny. I did kind of like a reverse with it, and I think I messaged you about it the other day. I picked up a World Collection Pikachu for PSA 10 for like the same price. In fact, it was like $8 cheaper than I'd sold a 9 for last year. So I like kind of did the same thing. It was like almost like in my brain, it was like an exchange of like I traded in a crappy one, made $8 and got a better one. Like that's weird, but those kind of plays, it's like you can't feel guilty about that because it's just like how it worked out or whatever. But in terms of
I
like,
don't feel guilty about that at all.
no, but in terms of we're talking about like being cheap and stuff in personal life versus Pokemon, I've got kind of. I think I've got a different thought process to the two of you. With Pokemon, I definitely spend money, but I spend money that is for that. Like it's like segmented in my brain. It's like two different things. I make money, I make play money with play money. Like, you know, the things that I do, like that funds that. And in my own life, I'm very generous. There's a two-part to that though. Very generous on other people. So when I go for dinner, I always forced to pay for dinner. I always tip 25-30%. I'm a big tipper. I used to be in the industry. So definitely see the value there for the people in it. Definitely like that. But when it comes to myself, like I'll wear shirts that are like 3-5 years old or whatever. You know, I don't have the newest fancy sneakers or the newest brand and that kind of stuff. Like I'm not like, I don't indulge on myself. My self money is my Pokemon stuff. So if there is a little bit extra that goes towards my collection, that kind of my hobby. I like to fish too.
Ooh,
Colson.
Hey.
You know,
What's
we
up,
were
guys?
talking in the comments, people were talking about those evil flippers. So I was like, you know, we really got to have one on, you know, so we can get some accurate representation and some defense. I don't think we were saying they're evil because I think we were all in agreement that there's a right way and a wrong way.
It's
and
part of it.
Like Colson does it the right way. Also, he's only 19, everybody. So like true fetus in the house right now.
Hey, calm down.
Colson, I feel like I haven't seen you live in months. Where have you been?
I mean, I'm trying to start my YouTube. Like, I just got OBS today. I went on the Jake
Sweet.
call-in. That was the first time I've ever been on YouTube. So, it's the second.
I've never even seen your face until now, bro.
Well,
You didn't see the Jake Pokenomics one?
No, I didn't. I also didn't watch the one with Ava, so I'm definitely going to go back and rewatch both of those. That's definitely on a watch later playlist for sure.
Colson crushed it.
That's a throwback. Months ago, you know, things have really changed since then.
Hey, can we get your screen name changed to Quaxley? Everyone's calling you Quaxley in chat.
there you go. Let me look at chat. 1 sec.
Colson, are you cheap in real life? That's the question of the moment.
Yeah, I'm really cheap. I mean, so I just quit my job at Target to flip full time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's exciting.
Yeah, it's awesome. So I have to be cheap. Like, I'll splurge with my friends sometimes, like just like food or drink. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, yeah, I'm pretty frugal, to be honest.
Sorry, did you just say to drink? I think that's bit
Like Sprite?
well,
Yeah.
yeah.
Mountain Dew, baby. Yee.
That's a really good combo, I won't lie. But moving on. So like how did you, get really into flipping? Because you said you just quit your job to do that. So like obviously that's been going really well for you. And do you have like a specific niche you're targeting? I know we kind of talked about this today, but for everybody else.
So basically when PSA opened the 50 tier, that just like I just like accumulated a huge raw grading pile. I was like, what am I doing with all this? Like I kind of just saw it all as a collection. Like I was collecting. I wasn't buying like doubles or anything. I was just like going in and like going through all the sets and seeing what I wanted. And I focused on like EX era, Diamond Pearl, Black and White, some like XY stuff. And that's all in Japanese because like I use Bai to buy all my raw cards. But yeah, then PSA opened the 50. I started sending there. And the money was just stupid. I'll say that much. It was stupid. I hit a lot of 10s. I think I have like an 80% 10 rate or something so far. Yeah, like all new back Japanese. So, yeah.
I think a lot of people are gonna hate you for saying that.
No.
What else I think they would hate?
Giving us more cards to buy.
We were talking, and you were talking about how much you like Black and White.
Yes.
Do you want to talk about that a little more? Because I think that's a bit of a contentious opinion, at least based off of that Pokenomics stream.
Black and White is like, it's the only thing I'm like collecting right now. Because I just look at Black and White and I look at the texture. Like, let me grab this. This is my favorite card I have right now. I graded it myself. It's a 10. Like I look at the texture and I look at like a hollow. I'm just like, man, the texture just kind of hits. It's a little different. Like I'm not trying to hate on hollow, but I don't know. Like, it's also like I grew up with it. Like I used to play with my friends with like EXs and stuff when it came out. So yeah, because like I came in with like EX era, Diamond Pearl, and Black and White. It's like what I grew up with, and mainly like Diamond Pearl and Black and White.
What you think about this? 1 second.
Yeah, that's super fire.
Oh, that is such a good one. The Palkia, also really great.
Did you buy that on auction on eBay?
Yeah, I did.
Did you get it for like 180?
No, I bought this. Man, this was probably like 18 months, 2 years ago when I got this.
Oh, okay. I saw another like 2 cert that went for like that a couple months ago. I was just wondering if that was the one.
But dude, that's a lot of value though for the money for what those go for. I mean, that's a really cool card. And Deoxys is my favorite Pokemon, and you have this versus the English variant. There's not even a question, dude. Yeah, no comparison.
Not trying to play down Ava's English.
Hey man, look. It's what I grew up with, okay?
Yeah.
I've been buying a lot more on Bai, though. I really think they should sponsor me, actually. But they won't. But I've been buying a lot more like Japanese exclusive cards on there, though, rather than just like Japanese versions. But like certain cards are really, really hard to find in an English 10. The Entei full art from Dark Explorers just have not been able to find available anywhere. So I've been thinking about going to the other side, and making that exception just because I'm getting desperate, guys. If anyone has that card, pick it up, please.
I'm curious, Colson, what your selling looks like. Like, are you using eBay? Is it buy it now? Is it auctions? Are you taking amazing pictures? Like, what does it look like with the flipping? Because now you've got to be efficient, right? You're talking about making a profit to actually make a wage. So I'm just curious, like, talk us through that. What does it look like to make a wage on the Pokemon side of stuff?
So what it looks like, I mean, it's a lot of waiting. Like I'm pretty much just like at the mercy of PSA whenever I get my cards back. Like once I get them, I'll just like immediately, and I don't even take crazy pictures. I'll just like put it on my desk, take a picture, list it for buy it now, and then we're good. I found this one local guy, and I did a big deal with him. Like the second I got my PSA sub back, like half of it went to him. He was like 2 hours south of me. So like finding other outlets, like finding places you can make private deals like Instagram, locally. And I've never done auctions. I've been thinking of starting, but like I have a lot of success with my buy it nows. Like all of my PSA slabs like pretty much sell through really fast, like within a month usually after I get the cards back.
Okay, so Eva, on your buying side of stuff, and you just touched on buyee, right?
Yes, sir.
What are you buying? What are you doing? What's going on?
Well, I might be I have like a video that I recorded like 3 months ago of me doing some returns from that I'm hoping to eventually upload one day. But, you know, I've been buying things like the 10th movie collection of those promos. I bought one of those binders. The 15th anniversary Pikachu from Black and White. That's the Pikachu
nice.
EX, actually. Going back to Black and White, just the perfect blend of Black and White and Japanese exclusive.
There you go.
And I've been buying various lots, like with the Shining Mew Korokoro. I'm just trying to get a few copies of that card. I have 2 currently, but I love that card, so I really want to get more. And also, like, buying Japanese lots is fun because, you know, I will never buy a lot in English if I can't see every single card. But every time I bought one in Japanese, I've never been disappointed, even if I can't see, like, every single card or the pictures aren't clear. Like, those sellers are so good. Every card I've ever bought has been in better condition than described. I found things like the full art Rayquaza Pikachus, the 2 Poncho Pikachus have both of those. So I should probably get those graded, but maybe one day I'll get around to it.
Yeah.
So is that all stuff that you're just collecting, or is that stuff that you plan to sell at one point?
Pretty much just collecting. You know, that
Awesome.
binder, or it's not really a binder, but it's like a folio of those 10 promos. That's like just for me. There's an Entei in it, and I considered just buying them all graded, but I figured if I can get this like mint binder for less than $100, which is way cheaper than you could get it, you know, on eBay and all of these other things, like why not just go for it?
You paid $100 for it?
I paid less than $100 for it. It was probably like $70 when I bought it.
That's a really good deal.
Yeah,
that's a really good deal.
My special talent is going on Bulbapedia and finding the Japanese names for things and pasting them into Bai.
Yep.
It's my greatest
It's working.
strength.
That's how you do it.
Yeah, it's working, obviously. I mean, that's yeah.
It takes no special talents.
So I want to ask you this, Ava. So I haven't consumed a ton of your content. So what are you primarily collecting? Like what are some of your like upcoming collection goals other than like Korokoro Mew and like the 10th movie promos like you just mentioned?
Yeah, so those weren't really specific goals. That's just like I have a lot of like one-off random things I'll get like really obsessed with that I just like really like. But in terms of like actual goals, master set of every Entei card, I have pretty much all of them aside from like a few like random cursory ones, but I have all the main ones. I've got like the box topper. So now I'm like having to branch out or get like higher grades, getting the Japanese version of things, getting like packs and whatnot. You know, I mentioned buying literal garbage for $40. Those were the Neo Revelation packs. So I've been getting those. Buying more vintage packs. I got a set of the first edition Neo Genesis packs in 10s. So that's pretty cool. I like those. You know, I've been buying a lot of things on Heritage, honestly. And then another one, just like in terms of like my sealed collection, was getting every Sun and Moon ETB. But I have pretty much all those as well. So I might start going back. I have some of the XY ones, but getting all of those. And then, you know, some of those are going to get pretty pricey. What's so funny?
I'm laughing because it's like a common meme whenever we're on Oak's channel or Oak's on his channel and he gets a little warm and feeling good. He just starts cracking ETBs and you see all those ETBs up on a shelf. Literally like the first time we ever did a live, every single one of those was sealed. And when you said ETBs, he just turned around and looked at him, and it just made me lose it. So I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm very blessed in that like I don't like impulsively open packs. So I have things that I bought like, 5 years ago, like sophomore year of high school. So I started like on the earlier side, I think, compared to a lot of people with buying sealed product and like keeping it sealed. Obviously wasn't spending that much because I was like broke, but really glad I was doing that. So, now I'm trying to get like other things, more niche things. Just bought all of the mythical pin collections. Those are super cool. I think they look great, but
Oh yeah.
I'm trying to find a new like card collecting goal because otherwise I'll just go off and buy random shit like that Pikachu, like so many random things that I'm just like, wow, that's so cool. But I do like when people have like a theme going, like your background is sick. I mean, it's not quite as cool as my background right now, obviously, but I do love the display you have going.
Whose?
Oh, I was talking to Colin, but yours as well. I mean,
No, his is way
yours,
cooler.
Colin.
Way cooler.
I appreciate it. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah. Mine is socks and 20-cent coins. So it's like.
Hey, I just want to say really quick, shout out, really excited. I just hit 300 subscribers while we're on stream. So
Hey,
Oh my gosh!
congrats, bro.
Congrats.
yeah. So thank you, everybody.
Hell yeah.
Cheers to
That's
that.
awesome.
Can we get him to 305 by the end of this stream? That's the dream.
Movie.
Why not 310?
Hell, let's make it 1,000. Let's get monetized in the stream, baby.
Oh,
Alright,
yeah.
let's-
Come
Everyone,
Let's
on.
start
open up
cracking.
a second window. Open up a second window and just put on any one of his videos and let him autoplay. Keep it going. We can get him to 1,000
Yeah,
or 4,000
Yeah.
hours.
There you go.
Dude, hitting that goal was really tough. I got really depressed for a while, thinking it was never gonna happen.
What was your goal?
Oh, like getting monetized, like getting the 4,000 watch hours.
And the 1,000 subscribers. I see.
Yeah, I had that one first, so the second one was like harder.
My goal was much more vanilla. My goal was 100 subscribers, and I hit it. So now I'm
Oh,
like,
I mean, that was like my goal before
Yeah.
that, but like, I think everyone has the goal eventually to like hit that milestone too. I didn't come out the gate being like, yeah, we're getting monetized the first week. Did not happen for a really long time.
some do.
But do you guys want to talk? I feel like you guys have kind of touched on your collecting goals, but Colson, like what are like your concrete goals? And like Professor Oak, Colin, I think you said basically it's to collect all of the Japanese e-readers in tens, right?
Yeah. So everybody who's heard me on my soapbox before, I feel like I talk about this every single stream, but no, I want to collect every single Japanese e-reader in PSA 10. I've my last card that I'm trying to purchase. So I'm currently number 2 in the registry for One from the Sea. I need to purchase a Tyranitar. I have the ability to purchase it, but not for the price that I want. And then I've been trying to put a deal together with this guy for like 3 weeks in this Crystal Lugia. He just doesn't know if he wants to sell it to me, which is really frustrating. And I can't find that card in first edition anywhere. So, I want to complete all of them. So while I'm waiting to finish out some of those other cards, like I picked up Poliwrath from Split Earth first edition this week. I got a really good deal at auction on that one. I was really happy about that. Did not think I was going to win it. And then I've got a couple town on a map. I've got stuff like that. So I probably have like 5 to 20% of those completed of the exterior sets. But One from the Sea, I think I'm like 89% complete if I'm not mistaken.
Oh, that's really impressive. That's
awesome.
That and
Appreciate it.
Apocalypse, basically the same. Obviously not entirely, but like one of my favorite sets of all time. It's amazing.
Yeah, actually, I'm going to retract my statement. So I have like 5 to 15% between Town on a Map, Split Earth, and Mysterious Mountains, and then E Series 1, which is Expedition, which has is it 32 or is it 30 hollows? I don't remember. I think it's 32.
I think it's 32.
Okay, but I'm 50% complete in that. That's all that I know, because that was like my original goal. And then I looked at the One from the Sea, and it was just game over. I was like, those cards are way better. So
Yeah.
But yeah, so I'm just selling everything right now, consolidating into Japanese E series. That's literally like, I want to have a few cool booster boxes and a few of the sentimental things that I have. like in this case, and then I just want to have display cases around my room of like Japanese E series.
Wow. Do you know how many cards are there in total for that goal?
I don't, but there's 16. Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to sound stupid on a live stream because you have crystals involved and you have all this other stuff and it makes it kind of tricky to calculate. But
Okay.
I would assume if we're averaging 16, what's 16 times 5? So probably somewhere around 100, give or take. The one that I'm going to throw up whenever I purchase is the
80.
Crystal Charizard. 80, yeah.
Oh, how much is that card currently going for?
So I threw in an offer because a guy had one up for sale. And the lowest I could talk him down to was like $7,000. I didn't want to spend that much, obviously, but I think $7,000 for that card's really not that terrible if you take it all into consideration. That's probably be the last card that I check off, and that's gonna be like I'm not gonna buy anything for a while, and then pull the trigger on it.
Yeah, I haven't made any big purchases in over 2 months, which is a long time for me. But like, I was on maternity leave for my 2 babies, which may or may not be of the rodent variety, but I've got some spending to catch up on, I feel like. So then, did you guys want to talk
Wait,
about?
hang on. We need to stand up for a second. You said maternity. You mean raternity leave, right?
I wish you had premium StreamYard and we could throw in a little
Oh, okay. See, I'm getting called out. Next time. I've never used this software before, but it's all going surprisingly well. We've not had, I think, a single issue so far. Really proud of myself. Didn't really do much to achieve that. Colin helped me out a lot before the stream started. But did you guys want to talk a bit about like your collecting goals? I know, Professor Oak, like your main goal is just to keep one product sealed probably for like at least a year.
That's not a goal. That's a challenge. I've actually got a box of stuff down here, and I've got some in a security box thing with the bank. I got some nice stuff sealed with those. But yeah, for me, I want Coulson to go on this. I'm excited to see what Coulson says on this answer too. But yeah, for me, it's the Pikachu registry. So, much like DNA, I think I'm for the basic Pikachu set. I think I'm ranked 3rd in the world, and I think the master set I'm like 8th or 7th or something. I'm like somewhere in the top 10. The English set, there's like 310 cards to collect, so it's quite a lot to get a hold of there for that. But yeah, it's just to continue to keep building on that, and I've got plenty ready to grade when PSA drops their prices. Definitely a PSA boy. Coulson, I'm handing the baton over to you. I'm excited to see and hear what you're going to talk about right now.
Okay. It's hard for me because I like grew up with like everything except for WotC, right? Like when I was really young, it was like EX Diamond Pearl, and then Black and White, and then XY, and I was like there for it all. And then I left right when like Sun and Moon happened, like right after the Pokemon Go boom had finished, because I was just like, oh, Rainbow Rare's ugly, they suck. Like, I like them now.
No,
I like them now.
They suck.
But like, I love the XY4s. They look so good. So like when Rainbow Rares came out, I was like, okay, we're done here.
No, they suck. You're right.
But so like I've been thinking of like changing how I collect into like maybe like specific Pokemon. Like I want to get like so my favorite Pokemon's Dialga. Ever since I was a kid, I always thought Dialga was like the coolest thing ever. So it'd be cool to like do a Dialga set, but it has some like trophies like Miracle Diamond, if you know what that is, which is just like, oh fuck, like that's where like that's gonna be a long-term goal. So I think right now I'm gonna focus on collecting like every single Japanese Black and White fort in a 10, because I love legendaries and mythical Pokemon. In Black and White, every fort is legendary and mythical, and I just thought that's really cool. I love the texture. Yeah.
I respect that. I also like black and white. In the chat last night, people were telling me that I couldn't even come up with 5 good Pokemon from that gen. Easy. Not even a challenge. But
Easy.
I think those
Some
cards are really great. I mean,
Some
XY,
nice.
those promos, like, are so good.
All the ponchos.
That's what I was about to say. Is the
Yeah.
promos that when I think black and white, I think good promos. You got it. You hit the nail right on the head right there.
I feel like the promos in X and Y just hit different, though. Like, I feel like that's really the prototype for the alt arts that we have now, right? Because they had those alternate
There's
art
a lot.
promos, the like XY Premium Trainers Collection.
Oh, that
product
hits.
also,
Well, dude,
I love that product.
all the
I
Just
gold
bought it
kiss.
on
cards,
clearance
you know,
back
the
in
gold
day.
secret rares and the XY break sets, like
Mhm.
the Mewtwo,
Oh,
like
yeah,
those
those
are
are
like the
awesome.
first. Yeah,
The
yeah,
Gardevoir with the
yeah. Yveltal.
Yveltal. Yeah,
Yeah.
really good name for Pokemon, by the way.
My favorite XY full art is the Alakazam from Don't Say It. Is it Fates Collide?
Yep.
Yeah.
That one is super, super cool.
Yeah. All those sets have one good card.
Damn.
I'm sorry. But it's it's impressive because it just shows that value is not correlated to the contents of the box directly.
Yeah. The
100%.
singles are cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. So just in that vein, like, what do you guys think of like the value of boxes? Like, how much do you think it is tied to the contents of the box, like in the near term and then also like in the short term? Because like obviously right now, like sets, I don't know how much you guys are into Modern, by the way. We haven't really talked about that, but if you're into Modern, like sets like Evolving Skies obviously like are super expensive. And then, you have things like Fusion Strike not doing as well by comparison. Like, what do you think about that? And do you think that's going to be something like maintained in the long run, or like will they converge?
I just completely liquidated my 401k, my IRA, and I just bought a bunch of Fusion Strike boxes. So
A man after my own heart.
Yeah. No, I mean, as far as Modern, I don't know. I've really been out of the Modern realm for several months now, but I think the sealed products definitely have their own, they definitely have their own obviously collector category because there's a lot of utilization for that. Because I don't know, and this sounds kind of obvious, but when you look at like a vintage sealed product, I don't know if any of you ever bought like a box or like something like that, but it's, when you look at it, you have what the packs are selling for raw on average multiplied by the amount of packs plus an additional consideration for it being sealed and having those packs unweighed. Now, the packs and that value is pretty much set in stone. Obviously, you have the subjectivity of if the pack sells for 200 on average or if it sells for 240 on average, you have that to take into consideration. But really, the only subjective part is what is the additional added premium for that product being sealed and its rarity. So I think that sealed products, I think they're super, super cool because you always have that mystique of what's inside the box. And then I feel like we're beating a dead horse here, but you kind of get a little tipsy and then you're someone like Professor Oak, you turn around, look at your shelf, and next thing you know, you pull one ultra rare V and a bunch of regular hollows, and here we are. I'm just giving you crap, man. I love you. I've been burned on so many. That's why I literally don't ever open up ETBs because I think I've opened up like 5, and every single one I've just took a bath on.
Yeah, I mean, you're joking, but you guys can't see my bulk pile from that shot. I don't know if you can see. This like goes back. There's like 3 layers of bulk just towered like that high. And
all I'm seeing is that Mr. Potato Head. What's good?
Yeah, we've lost an ear. I think my dog might have eaten an ear from it. We were playing with it the other day, and yeah, now he's Mr. Half Ear Potato Head. So just had to get that out there. Yeah, it's definitely, I think for most people, opening a box and you don't get a good hit, I think it's hard to describe it. I don't know what the right words are for it. I don't know if it's disheartening or disappointing, or there's some kind of feeling of, I didn't get the card that I want, but I got some other stuff that's cool, and I got some bulk, and I got this and that, whatever. You really need to, if there's a specific card you need to focus on the card, not on the pack, not on the box, not on the ETB, like not on the whatever it is. Like, just do whatever you can to get that card at the right place, at the right price, from the right place. I think a lot of us are starting to learn that. That's definitely becoming more of the norm of chasing. This is the card I want. This is what I want to do. You guys even touched on it earlier. Eva, you even touched on it. Getting it in the slab that you want. Like, pay the $20 and just get the card you want in the slab you want, and just have it done. Move on to the next thing. Like, if you really are collecting and that's your goal, don't buy an ETB. Like, buy an ETB because you want to collect ETBs. That's fine. That's what I thought one of my goals was. And after opening the 10th one that I promised myself I was going to keep sealed, I was like, I clearly don't want to collect ETBs because I keep ripping them and pulling nothing. And I still keep ripping them. So I don't care about them being sealed. So if you really do want to collect every ETB, like, I get it, because I had that same feeling. But also, after I opened them, I was like, why were they sitting on my shelf? Why were these sitting on my shelf, like, sealed, when they have nothing inside that I really want? Like, it's kind of like an odd revelation, I guess. It's a little bit of it's like a strange one, the seal collection. Older stuff, I had a lot of modern, obviously, because of ETBs, but some of the older stuff, absolutely see it sealed, especially things with promos and collection boxes. I definitely, with things where you can actually see things inside, through clear plastic and stuff, 100%, I'm all in for that stuff. I think that's fun and exciting. The Union, just there. That's a cute one. That's a cute, cheap one.
Yeah, for me personally, like, I really like to be able to display like those sealed products, and I like ones that either have really sick art on them or you can like see the promos. So I like ETBs for that reason. There are a lot though that I don't want to display, but like the team up ones, or not the team up ones, the tag team ones, some of my favorite to display because they're all just gorgeous. So that was like my first ETB goal, was to get all of those. But then, like you were saying, there are certain things, like even products that I think a lot of people like don't like that much, like the XY Premium Trainers Collection, where you can see all those alternate art promos from the XY era. I was super stoked when I was able to get that, like, for half of MSRP. And this was also like right before the boom happened, so they were like a few years old at that point. But I was really glad to get that. And it's like one of those things though where, like, I don't know how you guys feel about this, but personally I don't like to display them until they're like pretty old and expensive and rare and other people don't have them that much, just because I think that makes them like more exciting. I don't know if that just makes me like, a sellout because I only care about it being rare, but like, I keep them hidden away until I feel like, they've hit like a certain threshold of everyone not having them anymore.
Yeah.
No, my sealed product is stored away. Like the stuff I don't want to open, I pretty much keep all my sealed products stored away, with the exception of like my EXD Oxys blister that I have on display in my case. Just because I have like a lot of signatures on the acrylic case of it. It just kind of has some sentiment towards me, or to me. But I keep all of my sealed product stashed away just so I don't open it. Because if you're looking at it all the time when you work from home, it makes it a lot easier. Find that out the hard way. But I think keeping the modern product away is probably a better move, just in general, whatever your reasoning is, just because if you're like, oh, that's just $35 or oh, that's just $40, you're a lot more inclined to open it, because your chances of hitting the lotto, even though the odds are not in your favor by any stretch of the means, you're still more inclined to open it versus looking at something like an Evolutions ETB that the most expensive card in the set's like $45 raw, where it's like $200 sealed. It's like, this would be completely ignorant to open up.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I used to collect a lot of like ETBs, and in the last like 2 months, I just sold through like everything. Like it was mainly like Sun and Moon though. Like I feel you on I don't like to display them when everyone else is displaying them, because I would look at my Sword and Shield ETBs and I'll just be like, ugh. Like I just see it's like you see them so much, but when I looked at my like Breakpoint ETB, I was like, oh, you never see this. Like this is cool.
Yeah, when I'm displaying like any of those ones that are like, a few $100s at this point, I also just feel kind of gross because like I feel like ETBs have been tainted because everybody is like ETBs are stonks, because like the old ones historically like have done better than booster boxes, but that was also because nobody was keeping them sealed. So like that's probably not going to continue to be true going forward because like they just don't have the same amount of value in them as a booster box. I'm sure they'll still do well because like
Oh my God, Colson, why? What did you do?
Oh man, that's depressing.
When did you open that, bro? I'm sorry,
2013.
Okay, that's not bad then. I'm sorry to interrupt, Ava.
Oh, I've got some like old Yu-Gi-Oh tins from like 2003. Every time I look at them, I get really depressed because I'm just like, man.
Yeah.
Great.
You know what ATB that I think's underrated, that I don't know why it doesn't get enough love, but Generations.
I paid $500 for that. I just really like that ETB. It's so
it's
cool.
a no-brainer, right?
Like in person, looking at it, the details on the box are just so awesome. And I really paid a lot of money for that. So like
it's brilliant.
Really wanted it for the collection. Not an investment, not financial advice, by the way. None of this is financial advice.
Not getting reprinted. Clip me. Whatever. That ain't getting reprinted.
Oh yeah. No.
Pay that $500 bucks.
Yeah.
That is an ETB that for me, if I was going to choose any right now today, that's the one I'd buy.
Yeah, when I look at the Celebrations one next to it, I'm just like, they really took away all the parts of the ETB that made it cool and special, and that's what you're left with the Celebrations one. They didn't do anything original with it.
No.
Isn't that disappointing? Like that was such a huge opportunity, especially with the volume that they were knocking out too. Like such a missed opportunity with the ETB on that. Yeah.
Not gonna lie, during hype, I came like this close to buying a Celebrations ETB for Generations for like $750, and I'm glad I didn't in retrospect. But I was like, man, that ETB is super super cool. But during hype, I think those peaked at like 800, 850 give or take, which is pretty crazy.
Jeez,
that's a lot. Yeah,
I'm glad I didn't buy
those ETBs slap though.
The absolute top, but that's one of those ones where it's like sometimes you got to bite the bullet if you really want it for the collection. So, as I said, I don't always make like super, analytical decisions. Like, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I think that was a smart one, just because of passion. Because the thing is, if you're feeling that way, right? And I just said it, and I know both of you guys agree that Generations is a good one. There's some pretty nice cards in there, but also like there isn't that many of them. Like that's why the price is that high. Clearly, there's going to be other people thinking that same way. That's when you need to buy.
That's my philosophy entirely. Like, if I'm ever going to buy something that's like really expensive, it's got to be something that I love. Like, I talked about this in my last video because it's like, if you like it, chances are somebody else does too. And if I'm willing to pay $500 for it, like, I'm not willing to pay $500 for just anything in the hobby. Like, there are so many purchases I see people make where I'm just like, I would never buy that. Like, the majority of things. But, I have faith that someone else would one day buy this from me if I wanted to ever sell it one day.
Did somebody say Moonbryon when you said that? I feel like somebody said Moonbryon. I feel like I heard a whisper.
I got rid of that bag real quick when I graded that into a 10.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, do you guys like, I had this dilemma. Do you guys see your sealed, like you see your slabs? Like, does it hold that place in you the same way your slabs do?
No.
Like as like a collectible? Okay.
Well, as a collectible, yes. I think it adds an extra layer of kind of specialness. That's the way I view it, because it's like anybody can get this slab, anybody can grade this card, but not everybody can get this product, because obviously over time there's gonna be less and less of these as people crack them on Whatnot or YouTube or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for me that part is my head, and I think the slab collection is my heart. I think it's like two different voices within me doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I know I should collect this stuff. I know this could be worth something, that kind of stuff. But like, my heart and my passion's not really in it. It's not really there. That's it for me. Sorry, Eva. I knew you were answering just then. Go
you're
for
totally good. I was
It's Ava, by the way.
It's okay.
Did I say it wrong?
Yeah, it's okay though. Everyone does. It's not a big deal.
Tell me how to say it.
It's Ava. It's just really weirdly spelled. So like,
You just sound like you're saying Eva, but American. Is it because I'm English? I feel like I'm saying the same thing.
So just put some of that Florida Southern drawl on it and just say
Just-
Ava.
yeah, just like
Ava.
honestly, just
Yeah,
ignore
there you go.
what's written there and pretend it's an A. And there you
Ava.
go. Yeah.
We get it? Is that close enough? Ava?
It's just Ava. Yeah, just like AVA. That's
Just Ava. Okay.
yeah. It's not like fancy. It's just weird.
Perfect.
I
got you.
I was actually gonna say like it depends on the thing, especially if it's something that I opened when I was younger. So like I have some sealed like Legendary Collection Yugi's World from like 2012. And like those have a special place in my heart because first they're like one of the first things I ever kept sealed. And also because like I remember opening those and being like so excited about it. Like they're so cool. And just like having this thing that I've had for a really, really long time. And I know that almost everybody else who had it has opened it up, especially because I had this for a long time. It's not like something I bought recently. Like that has a special place in my heart because I look at it and I remember like the excitement I felt when I first opened it, you know. And I think also like I got them on clearance, so like it just like adds to that because I'm like, wow, this is something that I got when I was way younger and like I still have it, and that just makes me happy.
That's sick.
So if it's all right with y'all, I want to ask all of you a question, and I want you to start Ava, then Colson, and then Oak. So I don't think Ava would probably know that this happened. Colson might. I think Oak does, but basic trainer. I don't know. I'm sure most of y'all are familiar with him. I think he was in chat earlier. I may have some in the Discord when I was messaging in there. But so he has a base set box, right? So he was curious during hype over the course of I think it was either August to December or it was like October to what would it be like February. It was like a 4-month span around the hype, right? So he tracked and. Man, I can't remember how many it was now. So this is kind of null and void in me saying this, but I think it was like, it was sub 50 sales. I know that for sure. There was less than 50 sales of at least public of base set booster boxes. There's a lot of people who were saying, oh, there's 50,000 or there's 100,000 or there's 10,000 or however many boxes are out there. But you also have to take into consideration how many were sold to Troll and Toe because I think they were buying those boxes for like 25K a pop at the time. There's, going to be private sales that aren't listed on eBay that we don't know about. But if there's 10,000 boxes, and I don't know what they were going for pre-boom because I wasn't like that involved in the hobby, but when you assume that there's 10,000 or 30,000 or whatever figure that you specifically have in your mind of how many of these boxes are out there, you would think that you would see more than, I think it was like 42 if I'm not mistaken, but you'd think that you'd see more than 40 or 50 public sales of these boxes peaked at 30K because it's not like life-changing money, but it's definitely position-changing money for a lot of people. You know what I mean? Like if you just got given 30 grand, you can do a lot with that. You can put a down payment on a house. There's a lot of different factors or there's a lot of different ways that you can move that. So my question with all this being kind of an odd way to kind of get into this question, but when you mentioned earlier, I think it was you, Oak, you said that you think that there's not a lot of these generation ETBs out there. Do you think sealed product is overvalued or undervalued? And the reason I ask that is because if you look at something like Evolutions, I don't know what the boxes sell for. I would assume somewhere between $700 to $800 sealed, give or take. I think I think a lot of sealed products, I think there's a ton of aspects of the hobby that are overvalued and a lot that are undervalued. So I guess what are your guys' thoughts on that? Like, do you think that like vintage is actually undervalued because we don't have like a market cap of how many of these sealed products are still out there? Or do you think, modern, just kind of, you get what I'm saying?
Okay, so since I'm starting, I don't think that the majority of it is undervalued at all. I mean, it's one of those things where like at a certain point the buyer pool gets like really, really small for these high-end products, right? And I'm not saying they're not going to continue to appreciate, but especially with what we've seen like in the past couple of years, like I think that is representative of like them hitting their fair value and then also like surpassing it for a lot of things. Like it depends what we're talking about. Like if we're talking about base set, then that's one thing, but also like evolutions is another thing. And then, another set that's like more modern, like Cosmic Eclipse is like something else entirely. And then that's also talking about like these main products, like, but there's so many other products out there. And I would say some of those are definitely undervalued. A lot of things are overvalued, but there are like certain products where if you like happen upon the right listing, you can get the product for less than like the sealed packs inside would cost individually to buy. And like maybe there's a promo on top of that. And we were talking about this earlier, but there should always be a premium, right? For that extra layer of sealedness. So like there's singles, then there's packs, which should cost more. Then there's, boxes that have multiple things in them. There should be an extra premium for that because at every step of the way, there's someone who's willing to collect that. But I don't think right now that, if we're just going to be general, like with most things, I don't think they're undervalued. That said, like you can make money in anything. So like there's still ways to make money in vintage if that's also like part of the question. I think you can make money in anything if you're good enough at dealing in it. So I guess Colson, you want to take it away?
I think like my mind says like overvalued because like I can't make a play with a box. Like I can make a play with a card and grade it, like for me, it's just like extremely expensive, especially for what's inside. Like, do you guys know the set Call of Legends?
That's the one box that if I could open up right now, value aside, that's what I would open up. I love
me
that
too.
set.
Me too.
Yeah,
so in what are those packs? Like 200, 250 around there?
Yeah,
Somewhere
give or take. Yeah.
So I was buying those packs in 2016 for $3. Like, what's that? 80% gain or something? Because I was just cracking. Like everything I look at with sealed is just like I want to crack it to get all this cool stuff inside. Like, so I don't know. I think it. I mean, at the end of the day,
that'd be a 6,600% return if you bought in at $3. If they're selling for $200 a pack.
Yeah. Just a little ADX here and there,
Never mind. Yeah, sorry, my bad.
Yeah. No.
You said 80% earlier, and it threw me off. So yeah.
Sorry, I meant ADX, not percent. Yeah. To me, like vintage boxes, it's kind of, I'm kind of skeptical on how rare they actually are because you say like 42 sales. That screams to me that like there must have been, like I feel like I saw 42 base set box breaks, like there must have been so many private sales like during the hype. So I don't know. Pokemon was printed a lot, like compared to other TCGs. I feel like it's probably all around the world, even like in the more niche sectors of it. So I don't know, but it's the same thing with cards. Like if one's overvalued, the other one's probably just because it's a supply thing at the end of the day.
Okie boy, it's your turn.
Yeah, I think the fact that a base set booster box sells for 10 grand and an evolutions box was selling for over 1,000 at one point screams to me that people don't know what the hell they're doing and don't understand anything. Like are very confusing to me. The prices these past couple of years, all over the place, bizarre, not a lot of sense, nonsensical, whatever the phrase you want to use. I don't think unlimited booster boxes are particularly rare, but I also don't think there's pallets of them like people have said before, and there's over 1,000. I don't think it's anything crazy. I just think they're rare in terms of like people selling them and people having the money to buy them that actually like can afford them. Not that many people in this like community, in this like regular Pokemon life that we lead, can just drop 10 grand on a box of Pokemon cards. I guess it's not like a thing. So yeah, I don't know. It's tricky for me because I think of that and I think, who has $1,000 to drop on an Evolutions box? Like who's doing that? Like,
I got one for like 400, so can't judge.
much
it.
more realistic.
What?
Much more realistic at $400.
Thank you.
Like 500, 600. You know, even going up to, I think they're at like 700 right now. Whatever they're at, like much more realistic. But over 1,000. And then, you know, you can look right now and you can see 8, 9, 10 grand for a base set box from 22 years ago. That disparity is not wide enough. Like that needs to be a much wider gap right there, regardless of rarity. Like just alone in terms of like the desire for an older set versus the amount printed for a newer set that isn't great.
Yeah.
I mean, Evolutions is good, it's fun or whatever, but like it's not even the original cards. It's not the actual cards. It's a reprint.
Well, and I want to touch or vamp off that super quick. So Gackle, I don't want to say it wrong, GA, in chat said when Evo was selling for 1,000, Unlimited was selling for 35,000. You know, I responded and I said I think he was just giving his generalization of where bottoms and tops were, saying that if in a very short amount of time, respectively, looking at the hobby, you know, something selling for 1/10 of the price that is a reprint and it came out, what is it, 17 years later, give or take, 16, 17 years. I mean, that's crazy. So I personally think, I don't know if this is spicy or not. I don't think this is spicy. I personally think that Evolutions is the worst product that you could open unless you have a specific box that you know for a fact that you have consistent hollows without print lines and you hit like a CGC 10 on the Charizard or something crazy. Your come up on that is going to be huge. But like if you're opening up a $22 pack, I don't know what they go for now, but I know they're selling around $20 and your most expensive card is what, $42 raw. That's just the dumbest thing I've ever heard of in my life, because the fundamentals of that set make zero sense because that set has been graded into the ground. There's like for that set to come up from where it's at now, you're going to have a huge shift in demand towards Evolutions, which I don't think is coming anytime soon. That's my take. Might be a little spicy. If I offended you, sorry, but here we are. So
I don't think that's a hot take at all.
Yeah.
It was all part of my, completionist journey. I also have the ETBs. It was crazy though. Watching those prices jump, I paid like $60 for each and I felt like I was overpaying. And then they just like jumped up immediately. It was so wild. But like Oak was saying, that box being over $1,000 when you could get like Team Up for less than that, which is like a newer set for sure, but it was never reprinted. And it's a way better set. Like you could get like at one point you could probably get like 3 boxes of Cosmic Eclipse for that same price, which is madness considering how much that box was printed. And also like I hate the way those cards look. I think they all look really ugly. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we can all agree. Yeah. There's you're not going to hear any difference in opinion on that stuff. I just have a really hard time with, you know, when we're talking about like the price point and the rarity and stuff of like older stuff versus newer stuff. some cards. I've bought vintage. I bought Generations Pikachu for like in a PSA 10 for like 30 or 40 bucks, right? Just weeks ago, literally weeks ago. And then I'm looking at a card from, a couple of sets ago that was reprinted, printed probably 10 times more than, maybe 20 times more than Generations ever was. And the population's much higher and it's selling for 4 times as much. And I get the artwork side of it, but like, why? Like, why are people paying that and like buying that stuff at that price when it's like there's so many cool old stuff, like so many cool old cards and boxes and things you could play with that are like, for me, have a little bit of a different edge or a little bit more rare or lower pop or cooler artwork and stuff like that, and it's cheaper than a Brilliant Stars this or Astro Radiance this or whatever. I don't get it.
Yeah, also like call me a Generation shill, but like I was like doing the math one time, and like Generations packs, like they're $40 each, but when you like go through, look at the pull rates, and also it's like semi-weighable. So like if you are someone who is okay with weighing packs and selling light packs like advertised as light, which personally I don't like have an issue with people doing if and you're charging less. I've never done it, but like I know that's probably a hot take, but like, and you grade those cards, like you can have plus EV, which is insane. So like the fact also like, when that ETB is like $500 and the packs themselves would cost you $400 to buy, that ETB seems like really fairly priced to me personally. I love Generations.
But you also to take into consideration, I guess, and to your benefit, I'll add to this, right? So during hype, Generation packs were selling for like $50 a piece. So 50 times 10, 500 for that booster, or excuse me, ETB to go for $700-800 made no sense. You're not going to have, what is that, a 35% additional premium just because it's sealed? That doesn't make a lot of sense. But opening Generations, the caveat with that is what I will say is with the Generation cards that I have handled that have been, pack fresh, I have opened up a little bit of Generations. I think I've opened up like 4 packs just because I like to experience opening up certain sets in small amounts. The print quality from what I've experienced in collection buys and just buying online, they had bad whitening issues. And I actually have, I think probably 10 or 15 cards at PSA from Generations. I have like the Flareon. I have the Sylveon with the EV, fantastic arts. Really excited about those. I think those are going to hit 10s. Hopefully, if they hit 9s, I'll still be happy. Yeah, I'll still be able to profit on them and sell them eventually. But yeah, the thing is we can all say plus EV on certain packs, but there's so much inherent risk that's involved with opening up between print lines and centering issues and all this other stuff that we have to take into consideration. Because just like WotC, you can have a pack fresh Charizard and it can grade an 8. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, this isn't like personally like my style or my strategy.
Yeah, I was just saying.
But I'm just saying that's like one thing where like when you're thinking about buying sealed products, even not opening them, like it is good to do that math because like although like there's a lot of risk in that, it would make me feel better knowing that versus when I do the math for Evolutions, for example. Like it just is terrible, like horrific. And like theoretically, if you're going to do that, I think a way better strategy would be going for something that has promos that you can get close to like pack price, like the mythical pin collections. I'm a shill, I know. But you get those promos for basically free. And some of them are really cool. If you can get like the right price on them, like if you just wait around, you can get a deal. And then, you can grade those and that really helps like, tilt the odds in your favor. Again, this isn't something I do, but I just think it's really good to think about like that kind of math because like there is so much risk in that and like it's not my personal style. But for people who do that type of thing, go through, watch a lot of videos on people opening it. I think it'll help give you a way better understanding of like what the cards look like, the pull rates, and all of those things.
When Generations came out, I remember I could never find an ETB of it. Like I would always go to Target to try and find. And you could always find like the boxes with like the full arts, like with the Charizard, Blastoise, Venusaur, and Pikachu. Those were awesome. I opened up all of those mythical collections, because the mythical collections came out like every month for a year, I think. Yeah, the Generations is, I loved that set when it came out. And for those mythical collections, those full arts in Japanese, it's the XY CP5 set. They all come in that box as a booster box. And when you open that box, you get every single one with like a couple of dupes, which is just like amazing. And I opened that box when it came out. I was like, oh my God, these are like, they're just such gorgeous full arts. And in Japanese, like the details are so nice. It's just, yeah, I don't know. I love that end of XY. They killed it.
I think it's fun. You know, we were just talking before that about the EV. You know, like that chase of like, can I make a profit on this? Can I do this? Can I do that? Shall I open it? Shall I not? I think all those questions and all those games, all those different plays you can make, like it's fun, right? It's fun thinking, can I do something with a set? It's, even with modern stuff right now, I've made a couple of plays, you would call it, and made profit. You know, it's been fun. Like it's enjoyable because you're doing it with the stuff that you love and you enjoy. Whether you collect it, you throw it in a binder, or you grade it, or you sell it, or whatever, you're in it. Like at some capacity, you're in it because you like it and you enjoy it. And I like that. I like that we're talking about a set from 6-7 years ago, or whatever. Still, like now, we're talking from a set from 22 years ago. You know, we're still talking about it, and it's fun to talk about. It's fun to say, what's the price? You know, what can we do? What can we do with this? What should we do? Should we break the pack? Should we grade the pack? Should we rip? Should we grade the? You know, are they going to have bad whitening? Like DNA was saying, there's so many like different things you can do and go about with it. I still think the hobby is so fun and so alive, and there's so many people doing different things within it that I don't see it dying anytime soon. This conversation alone sums it up for me.
That was such a wholesome comment. I agree. I really appreciate it. I think also like a lot of times it's tempting to like talk about things we don't like and like complain and like talk about things we disagree with and like point out things we see that people are doing wrong. But I think it's also good to like take time to talk about things we really like about the hobby, because like this should presumably be fun if it's our hobby, you know? So I think it's good to like take a step back and just talk about those things that like we really enjoy.
Love it. On that note, I'm gonna end on a high note right there. I can hear my dog crying. He cries when he wants to go outside, go potty. So go potty.
Yeah. And Ava, whenever you want us to bounce out, just let us know. I don't know what time zone you're on. Just I'm chilling now. I'm good.
I'm on CST. I can go for a while longer. You know,
cool.
I came mentally prepared. I brought 2 cups of water, actually. So I've got, you know, my backup cup right here because I just finished the first one.
I got a water jug over here next to me, and I got a lot of bourbon to kill, so we're chilling.
Oh, yeah, you'll be plenty hydrated. No, one of them hydrates you, one dehydrates, and you'll always be at the perfect level.
For sure. Good to see you, Oak. Thanks for stopping by, man. Good talks, as always.
Thank you so much for coming on. Your contributions were really great. Love the positivity you bring.
Ava. I said Ava.
No worries.
Definitely not getting invited back. I'm sorry. Ava.
No, you're getting invited back.
It's the accent. I swear to God, it's the accent. It's how we would pronounce it. Ava.
That's how people
diamond.
pronounce
Thank you.
Too. It's just weird.
Oh, Americans do it too.
Yes. Yeah.
Dude, she had to correct me like 3 times, so that's why I corrected you, because I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I felt really bad about it.
Okay, we've got it now. We've all got everyone in the chat, everyone in the stream. Ava, we've got this. Never again.
Thank you. No, I appreciate
Never
it. Thank
again.
you so much for coming on. You were so great to have.
Seriously, thank you for having me. DNA, wonderful as always. Colson, I'm glad I got to be in a stream with you instead of just observing. It was fun in the chat last time I saw you live. It was a good time. You're all superstars. Enjoy the rest of your night, and thank you for having me. I'm going to sign out.
Thank you. Everyone should go join his Discord. It's a really great time.
Yeah, it's fun.
See you, buddy.
See ya.
Okay, we're down to 3. You know, maybe if anyone in the chat wants to hop on, just let me know.
Yeah, we got a bunch. We got a bunch of homies in the chat, so just, yeah.
Yeah, we've basically got that whole Discord in this chat right now.
Yeah, I see it. I do see a few unfamiliar faces though, or unfamiliar chat names, I guess you could say. But yeah, so I want to hear your opinion on this, Ava. So your collection, mainly English, right?
Oh, here we go.
In terms of like these cards, yes, but I have a good amount of value in Japanese because when I buy
Okay.
Japanese cards, like I go hard with the purchasing.
Yeah. So why do you? I guess like you could say the same. You know, you asked the same thing about me with Japanese because obviously, if you speak English, I've actually been trying to learn Japanese here the last like month and a half. I've been taking courses online. Just to try to. There's a few people that I would love to talk to that mainly speak Japanese that have some cards that I want. So I think it'd be really cool just overall in the hobby because I've been to Asia a few times and
I lived there for a while. Yeah.
Where at?
China for 9 months, like a school year.
Damn.
Awesome. Yeah. One of my friends of friends is someone my brother went to college with who lived in Taiwan when we were there at the time. They spent 2 years in China and they said they stayed in a really, really cool area. I couldn't tell you where, but they had, you know, good things to say about it for sure. That's awesome though. That's really, really cool.
Thank you. Sorry, I feel like I distracted you from your question with that comment.
No, you're good. So whenever with you collecting English, like the first Japanese card that you bought or looking at big Japanese collections, you know, like what do you think about when you like see that stuff? Is that something you're like, oh, I would like to, you know, obtain or own those things, or and that's something I would like to collect, or do you still kind of hold that, you know, bias towards English because that's what you primarily collect? Like, do you ever think about consolidating into Japanese cards because you like them better, or do you think that's not the way that you would want to go because it is in a foreign language?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have like an opposition to foreign languages. Like, I do speak Chinese, which has been like the tiniest bit helpful on Bai. Really, just because it makes it so that I know which one to like. Sometimes they use Chinese characters very
The kanji, yeah.
Yeah, so I can read those, which is occasionally helpful. And I do also speak some Korean as well. I'm majoring in East Asian languages and civilizations, for anybody wondering, and econ. So like they go hand in hand.
Awesome.
So I don't like have that bias. I don't speak Japanese though, is the thing, but I'm not one of those people who's like, I can't read the card, so I can't buy it. But I think part of it is also like obviously nostalgia. And two, like one of my favorite parts of trading cards growing up was like the actual trading aspect of it. And I feel like when you're starting to buy cards internationally, it gets further and further like removed from that. And that's like one of the things that I fell in love with, like with trading cards. Like I collected Yu-Gi-Oh! All growing up as well, like actually more so when I was younger than Pokemon. But like in terms of Japanese, like I started buying it maybe most like in 2019 more is when I started buying it more often, just because like, you know, I was starting to like sell some more cards occasionally, and like you could sometimes just get these like crazy deals back then from Japanese sellers on eBay, especially if it's someone you bought from like a few times. You could get like
for sure
crazy deals. It's probably less like that now. Like I remember watching those deals dry up in 2020 and it was really depressing. But I think it's like for ultra modern, not really that interested in it personally, unless it's Japanese exclusive, just because like with ultra modern, like I'm not going to complete like any master sets anyway. It's like very specific cards that I want, and like I can just as easily get them in English, and like the price difference usually isn't a deal breaker for me, so like I don't mind that. But again, like I love having those Japanese exclusive cards because I love having something that I know like not a lot of people in the US have some of these certain cards, and like a lot of them are very iconic. So the older the card is, like the more happy I am to have it in Japanese or English. So I guess that's kind of what I would consider. And also like obviously the price, you know, like if I feel like I'm getting a good deal, I can take it in whatever language.
Yeah, that's an awesome answer. What about you, Colson? Man, man, it's so good to see you on stream. I've never seen your face. You've always been a mystery to me. It's so good to see you and get to chat with you personally.
Hell yeah.
But what made you collect Japanese, or have you always been collecting Japanese since you kind of, I mean, you've been in the hobby for a while. I know you said you got out during Sun and Moon, but it sounds like you were in it for the long haul.
Yeah, I was pretty much in it since I got into it. I don't know, with Japanese, it's like when I was growing up, I always collected English and preferred it, but because I could read it. Now I can. Oh, nice. Like now I can actually read the card because I know a bit of Japanese. Um, and I'm taking it. I took it in high school, and I'm taking it at university. Um, so that's not really much of a barrier to me. It's kind of cool to see like the different names between English and Japanese sometimes. But yeah, like when me and Ava talked about this, but we watched Unlisted Leaf back in the day when it was good. Sorry guys for people who like him, but like he would always open the Japanese set first, and it was always what, like $50 for a booster box on Amazon. And like in the later sets, you would always get a hit. For like the earlier ones, you wouldn't always get a secret rare. In like some of the XY sets and black and white sets. So that was like my introduction to Japanese. And once I got back into the hobby, I really focused on like mid-era, like EX, Diamond, Pearl. Those were kind of my things. And then I was like looking into prices because I'm like a PSA 10 collector too. Like I kind of like 9s, but I like 10s. And looking at those prices, I was like, oh shit, like these are low pop. These are not, you can't just go on eBay and find it near mint raw like every day, unless you get super lucky. So I was kind of just like, I didn't have the bankroll for it, really. I didn't have the bankroll for English. So I watched Swami's video on how to use Bai. A couple of my friends were using Bai. And then I've pretty much just been Bai only ever since. Like I'd never used eBay. It's pretty much just always been Bai. Like even if it's the same price on eBay and the same on Bai, I just like buying from Bai. I don't know why. Like it's really weird, but yeah. So I don't know. There a lot of it, like the textured cards are a lot better. I like the modern Japanese a lot. But now now that I have more money, I'm like gonna be collecting EX and Diamond and Pearl in English again and selling all my Japanese because I think it's like obscenely expensive, kind of like just I don't know. And if I can like turn a profit, might as well.
Cool.
What about you,
yeah.
Colin?
Yeah.
So what got me into it, I guess? Yeah, so it was kind of what I touched base on earlier. It's just more of an affordable option. So I'll kind of vamp on that just a little bit. The first Japanese card I ever got was when PWCC was still on eBay. There was like it was like one of the 3 BGS slabs that I've owned. It was a BGS 7.5 Mew, and it's because I was like, I really want this card in English, but there were none for sale. And even when they do come up for sale, I think the last sold on that card is like 11K in a PSA 10, give or take. But you can't see it. I have it. It's actually that right there. I have the
Expedition Mew, right?
Yeah. I'll pull it out in case anybody hasn't seen it.
It's a sick card.
It's my
gorgeous.
Well, if it'll come out, let's see. I'll move this Machamp and grab it. Whoop. Come on here. Here we go. All right. Cool. So it's this card right here. Yeah. So such like the holo pattern just pops. Such a great card. Like it's my favorite card in the TCG. Let's see if we can get that focus. That's good enough. All right. There's a Machamp too, in case anybody wanted to see it. But yeah. So I bought that in a BGS 7.5. I think I got it for like $60 or something like that, which I don't think is a bad buy. Even though anything below BGS 8, you don't know if it's going to be a PSA 2 quality or a PSA 9 quality, because anything below BGS 8 is just like a complete shot in the dark. But yeah, so I got that, and I started doing more research into Japanese, and I was like, man, this is kind of something that's really cool. I was like, this is something that's attainable to where I don't have to completely go bankrupt trying to collect a expedition set, and grading it into a 10. Now, that being said, I have the reason why I got into expedition, because I actually wanted to complete the entire set in PSA 10 a while back, and I graded 2 of the holos in PSA 10 buying raw. Probably one of the I'd say like the third best play I've ever made was I bought an Expedition Pichu on Hollow on eBay, and I graded that into a 10. I was really, really happy about that. But then I started looking into other Hollows, and I was like, damn, I can't find these cards, you know, at an affordable price raw if they are minty, and then like the risk reward is it doesn't make sense. Not plus EV, I guess, if you want to say it that way.
I don't normally use that term. All right, man.
Yeah.
Okay. I like to talk about intrinsic value.
Yeah.
They're very different.
So that leads me into a question I actually had lined up. I don't want to take over your stream and ask questions to you all.
You know what?
I don't know,
I can use all the help I can get.
Okay, cool. But a question that I did have lined up for y'all was, what is the? We don't have to talk about monetary figures by any stretch. Whatever y'all feel comfortable with sharing doesn't make a difference to me. I'm asking you guys, so it doesn't make a difference. But what's the best raw to grade purchase, like value wise or like rarity wise, that you've ever done?
I don't really grade much, so like,
okay.
I don't think I'm really qualified to answer this.
Okay.
But Colson, do you want to get?
Colson, we're gonna need like a top 10 from you, buddy. You're posting some heat on your Instagram, dude.
Yeah, I know.
You know, he's making enough to quit his job, so like.
Yeah.
I mean, I have really low life expenses. Like, my mom's paying for me to go to school, and my rent isn't that bad. Like, I'm in a really like blessed position to be in. So I'm not like completely self-sustained. That's why I was able to quit. Just like clarifying, because like I don't want anyone to just go quit Target to like flip Pokemon cards, and they don't have the bankroll for it. But
be proud, dude.
Thank
Regardless,
you.
You don't have to add any like asterisks, you know.
Yeah. Thanks. Okay. Can it be a lot or a single card?
I was thinking a single card, so like I'll kind of answer my own question, I guess.
Sure.
One, so the Pichu Hollow, that was a big one for me. That was like, wow, like this is, you can seriously make some money doing this, because I think I sold that card on eBay. It was stupid the way that I went about it, but I think I could have got more for it if I'd done like consigned it or something like that, because that is a card. I think it was like pop 26 when I graded it, but I sold it right under $2,000. I think it was like 1975. I bought a Japanese Gold Star Hollow Mewtwo on eBay. I graded that into a 10. And then I pulled a Dark Charizard that I've opened up one Team Rocket pack, pulled the Dark Charizard Hollow, graded into a 10. I was going to collector boy it. I had the card for like a year and a half, or probably like, right about a year and a half. And then it's actually up for auction right now. So check out TCA Gaming, Rusty's eBay if you want to buy it. If you don't, just go shill bid. No biggie. It's already been not paid for once. So anyways.
Yeah, we've got 54 potential shill bidders in here. Tomorrow morning, I want to see 54 additional bids.
Yeah. No, but in all sincerity, those are probably the three big hitter cards. I haven't really graded like any big cards. The biggest one here recently was I bought a bunch of Sandstorm, and I just graded because I had a box of it. I had a art set pack of it. I just graded a Jolteon Hollow that's like pop 14, I think, in PSA 10 in English, and then I graded a Wailord EX Hollow in PSA 10 too. So but stuff like that, I don't have near the experience in grading scales or anything like that. I'm small potatoes. I'm literally nothing into comparison to flipping on Bai like Retro and Colson, and people that are like, oh, you graded a Japanese Gold Star into a 10. I've graded like 5 of those. I feel like is I don't know. I know you're not saying that, but like I feel like you guys grade, like you said, you have an 80% 10 ratio, and I know you weren't trying to brag or anything like that by any means, but that's like really, really impressive, dude. Like props to you. That's awesome.
What was your cost basis? Sorry, what was your cost basis on those cards, by the way? Just trying to get the like.
Yeah. So I actually sold the Mewtwo Gold Star. I could have got a really good deal on it. It's probably stupid on my end, but we talked for like an hour, and I was having such a good time talking to this guy. So I paid $130 for the Mewtwo Gold Star raw. I asked for additional pictures at auction. The guy told me, gave me a bunch of details. And I paid $160 for the Pichu, and then I think I paid $200 for the Rocket Pack on eBay, and it was unweighed. And I got it, and it was 20.83. And I've actually still have some Rocket Packs. I have like an art set right here. But I felt someone like memed me by saying feeling the curve when I said this previously, but I had all the rocket packs and I weighed it, and that one was the heaviest. But if you don't know and you are watching, Team Rocket is one of the hardest sets to weigh, along with like Neo Genesis, English specifically. And that card had a curl to it, and obviously early WotC doesn't have reverse hollows, so that card having a curl to it in comparison to other ones, I was like, you know what, let's wing it, let's roll it, let's open it up. And then I pulled the Dark Charizard, and I wasn't making content at the time, and my hand was like this. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I can't believe this. And I didn't think it was going to grade a 10. I thought I was going to hit a 9, and I just sent it because I was like, this is going to be something for PC. I just want this, and it hit the 10, and I was really, really happy. But I realized that I can't keep all the things in my collection unless I sell things to fund E-Series, because that's like my big collection goal at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's hard. Like my biggest dubs were just lots, pretty much. Where say I would have like a cost basis of $10 per hollow. So I bought this one crazy lot one time. It was this seller that was auctioning every Japanese set from like EX era through the black and white era, 4 complete sets of each. Like, no back pictures. I spent $800 on a Japanese Secret Wonders set. And came in, it's like all minty. Like absolutely stupid. So I got 4 complete sets of Japanese Secret Wonder, which has like the Charizards, the Venusaur, the Blastoise, the Lugia, the Ho, the Mew, the Raikou, Entei, Suicune. Like just bangers. All of them are at PSA. I had graded 2 of the Charizards already. They both hit 10s. So it was like cost basis of like $10. Graded at 50. Sold it for like 400. Just like stupid.
Hell
like
yeah,
a lot
dude.
of my play. Yeah, like a lot of my plays are just like volume, honestly. Like I've never had like I've had like a couple like 10x's, but never like 20, 30x. I think it's more just like the volume of cards that I'm grading. And like I really saw so much opportunity in grading like at the 50 and like the 30. And I do not think people took advantage of that enough. I've sent like multiple 50 subs and 30 subs out. Like, I don't know, dude. It's just like everyone's just waiting, and it's like, why? If you have the intention to sell it, and you would have like, why not just grade it? I don't understand. Like, if you're gonna make money regardless of the grading cost, like, I don't know. It kind of baffles me.
Yeah, no, for sure. I've probably gotten like some 20x's, but that was actually just on like raw cards.
Nice.
Again, like buying from Japanese sellers, like some like random hollows and stuff, and then just selling them on eBay. But it's like going from like, you know, $3 to $60. So it's not like insane in terms of like actual profit. But then I've had that in like sealed things I've bought for like $20, going for like 400. But like that's very different because it's like that's a waiting game. You know, it's not like instant turnover, which is like really impressive when you can get those numbers. That's like so insane, Colson. Both of you guys, really, really admire your flipping abilities. Oh my gosh!
So,
I think we're about to have a...
Yo,
what's good?
Good. Do I have to like open the YouTube channel separately?
Dude, this is legitimately the first time I've seen Charvy's face and the first time I've
Yeah.
seen Colson's face. 2 handsome boys. Hell yeah. Let's
Dude,
go.
Charvy, Colson, and Colin. Let's go.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
And Eve, Charvy, Colson, Colin, and Eva, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Someone gets my name right.
oh.
How you
Okay.
doing, dude? Welcome.
Good, good.
It looks like it's
What are we talking
daytime
about?
for you over there.
Yeah, I'm in New Zealand, so it is 4:30 p.m.
Oh wow,
Yeah,
that's nice. I'm
thanks.
jealous. Do you want to give a brief like intro, what you're all about, you know, for the people
Ugh.
watching that don't know?
I got nothing, dude. There's no intro. Sold my entire collection. Coulson is my idol, and yeah, that's pretty much me. Slowking is the best Pokemon H22, the Apocalypse Hollow. Yeah. That's it. That's all I got.
Do you know that meme, Ava? H22?
Are you talking about the one from which set was that in? It's one of
It's
the
a
easier
Qua-
ones, right?
Aquapolis. Yeah, we don't have to
Yeah.
we don't have to go over the origin of the meme, but yeah, no, it's a funny meme for sure.
Yeah, it's actually too.
I know the
Yeah.
card.
Yep.
Okay.
I don't know the meme.
So that's my grail. That's my grail.
Okay.
He sold it.
And I sold it because it was a 10, but it had a dent. Like, what are we doing?
But it
I'm-
was
I'm-
10.
Yeah, we're sorry.
Did,
It was
did
not
you
a
say you
10.
sold your whole collection?
Pretty much, yeah.
Why?
I didn't need like 4 9s. I didn't need. Yeah, I just didn't like. I didn't really have that many double-digit grades. I was like on the Dan energy of, I'll just buy the 9 because it's cheaper. But then like when I got the 10 before I knew it was a 6, it just it feels way much better having the 10.
Yeah, you know,
So, yeah.
I would never buy a 9.
Yeah, well I know now.
Almost all my cards are 9s.
Okay. Hey,
Almost
And that
all my
thumbnail's got a 7 on it, so
yeah.
I'm not giving
Yeah.
you crap. I'm not by any means. I was just saying like I don't know. My collection could be so much bigger if I did collect the 9s, but or the 7s. But
Yeah.
I'm a lame label buyer, as Dane calls us. So
Got a really good deal.
yeah. So Oak had a question. He asked me to ask it again in the chat because I forgot. It's so easy to brush over questions. He asked, what is our most fulfilling part of, or he said, what is the most fulfilling part of the hobby for you all? So if you want to start, Ava.
Oh man. This isn't something I can really do much anymore, but back when I was a camp counselor, like one of my favorite things to do was like give the kids some cards, like because like a lot of them were like into Pokemon, so it was like so awesome being able to like see their faces and like get that joy because they didn't care about like the value of the cards, you know, like they were just like really excited when it was like a sick card that they really liked. So being able to give them some cards, definitely one of the peaks. So like I think just being able to share that joy with anybody, and like also like when I would go to locals way back in the old days, you know, before the internet, not before the internet, but before like everything like this started happening, like being able to trade with people and like actually play the games. I used to actually play the Pokemon TCG. That was definitely one of the most fun things. But like obviously that's all in the past. So like currently I really do like the community aspect of it though, getting back to that, and like probably more in it now than like I ever was before, because like obviously like it is a little bit different being a woman in the hobby, like, and going to locals and all of that. It's a little weird. But I guess those are some of my favorite things. And also just like love shiny stuff, you know, like a raccoon. So all of that.
Nice.
So is it me or you, Charvy? If we're going in order, are we going clockwise or counterclockwise?
Let's do
go.
counterclockwise because you asked.
Yeah, you go. Yeah, there you go.
Tell me the question again. What keeps me going in the hobby?
You're gonna make me scroll all the
Yeah.
way back up in chat, bro. No, I'm just kidding. So he said, I see where he said night all you babies. What else did he say? I can't find it for some reason. Anyways, he just asked what's the most what's the part of the hobby that we like the most? Something along the lines of that.
Yeah, it's probably just like hanging out like with all my friends and stuff, like all the people I've met in the past like 2-3 years. It's like the cards are cool or whatever, but if there's no one for you to like post it every time you get one, or like looking for cards on Buyee, like if I was just sitting at my computer like alone, I'd just be like it's just not the same.
That's
So it's
me
just-
most of the time.
Oh, okay. But yeah, that's pretty much. Yeah, that's my answer. Just the homies.
Yeah.
And what I'll say super quick is, Ava, I sent it in private chat. I don't know I don't think you're keeping an eye on that in StreamYard, but you can highlight chats too. You can click on the chats in the comments over here on the
Okay.
right side. I know it's your first time using StreamYard, but you can like highlight comments if you have like questions or something like that. So
Thank you.
yeah. Anyways, sorry, Colson, my bad, man.
No, it's just like it's the friends for me. Like when I was collecting all this stuff, I had like a couple friends growing up with it, but like once I was still collecting it, everyone was just gone. And I was just kind of like the lonely weirdo who like, you know, liked Pokemon still when like nobody else did.
That was me
so
too.
like yeah, so like having a community now is so awesome, and yeah, I don't think I would have stuck around if I hadn't met all these awesome friends. Shout out Spicy Boys for real.
Yeah, shout out.
Is it my turn?
Yeah.
Sure
Okay.
is.
Yeah, I'm gonna bounce off of both of you. I think it's really the most enjoyable part of it is, just the friendships and, the things that come along the way. To kind of, vamp off of that is I didn't really know anybody in the hobby. I had to make all the decisions myself for about 2 years now, or about 2 years then. And when we look at people, when we say, hey, who's buying this bag? Who the hell's buying this? Whatever it is. Yeah. And we use, rude terms. We have to really put ourselves, if we're going to get psychological and, simpy or whatever the hell you want to say. Sorry if I'm cussing a lot, but,
Simp isn't a curse word.
yeah, well, I said a few others earlier, but,
I was
Spit it out, Sam.
sorry.
yeah. So if someone isn't, if someone's just entering the hobby or someone doesn't have, an outlet to talk with people about what is a good decision and what isn't, it really makes things a lot more difficult. And the reason I say that is because I think personally, I've talked to probably 3 people this week, over Discord calls, about, hey, is this a move? What should I do with this? How should I optimize this? So on and so forth. So if we don't have anybody else to talk to, because we do feel like, what Colson said, it makes things a lot more difficult. So I think having other people in the hobby and other people to, discuss things with, one, it adds, a friendship, and it adds, an extra layer to the hobby. And I didn't really realize that until I went to the pop-up shop and I met, Basic, and I met a lot of other people that I still, do keep in touch with, because I've never been in an area before. You can say going to music festivals or going to concerts or going to anything is, people are so friendly. But when you share, a passion with somebody and something that you're really, engaged into, and you can go literally up to a trade table, or you can be in line with somebody or whatever it is. Like, there wasn't a point in time where I was anywhere at the pop-up shop and I was talking to somebody where I felt, negative criticism towards me. And the same thing back, like we automatically right off the rip know that we have an alignment and we have, something in common that we can all sit and talk about. And I thought that was really, really cool, because it really added an extra layer to the hobby, to where it's like, everybody's so accepting and everybody's so friendly, whether you have this political view or whether you have this going on in your life or you have that. It's like a safe space, I guess you could say. But no, it's really, really cool. And if anybody watching or anybody who I'm talking to right now hasn't been to an in-person event, I couldn't recommend anything more if this is something that you are really engaged in, because it is one of the coolest experiences that you can do, just because, all of us are online right now because the hobby's huge, but we can't share the same Japanese collecting H22 memes. We can't share this stuff, with people that are our neighbors or that live with us. It's, it's a tight knit community, and getting to meet those people that you talk to online all the time is really, really cool.
For sure. Very, very well spoken all the way through that.
Nice.
He's also saying
Thank you.
everyone should go to Denver.
If you're not going to Denver, what are you doing with your life?
That might be me. So I don't know. No, but I couldn't agree more, because
Here, one second. Join the Patreon. Let's get Ava to Denver. Let's go.
Or we're supposed to put a fat donation. That'll cover it. No, but the online community is so great. Personally, obviously, I think I have a harder time than most people, even talking to people about this kind of thing in real life. And just it makes it so much easier, because personally, I am not the most outgoing person in the world.
I was getting a hairline check, sorry.
Oh yeah, good job.
Oh no, we're not doing that, dude.
Totally lost my train of thought. But like being able to interact with people like online is really great. And like, you know, Thrifty invited me to Oak's Discord last night. It was really nice of her. That was really awesome. And just like already like in a day talking to all those people, like this stream wouldn't be happening if it weren't for that. Like, so it's really cool, like getting to meet so many more people. And I think, you know, I was on Instagram for a while before YouTube, but like I don't think the community is like at all the same as like what you can get here. Like the like live interaction, like even people who aren't like in the stream, like talking like with each other. And like when I'm in the comments of a stream, like the ADD really comes out and I really just start talking like so much, like so much more than I would like in like day-to-day life. So I think it is like you can get that like special connection with people, knowing that you guys all like something like super niche that most people don't give a shit about.
Yeah, it's like, I think if I never picked up a card or if I never opened a pack, like I would have never have met like the Spicy Boys. And I've talked to Colson before, and it's like there was the Frosted Caribou drama, which took me to Jake's channel,
Yeah.
which took me to like all these dudes. It's like, and what, like, how did I end up here? Like, what happened? I'm like in Discord for like 4 hours on a Monday. Like, what's happening? But yeah, that's cool. Like, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I've also never been to like an actual like full-on convention. I've only ever gone to locals, so might need to make it happen. It's just always like feels like so much work to go anywhere because they're never where I am.
Gotta
Yeah,
come
what
to
else-
Denver.
23
Yeah.
hours away, so have fun with that.
Yeah, super
What-
convenient.
What I'll tell you though, Ava, is if the funds are available, I would literally cancel a vacation, whatever you have planned up, just because I think I legitimately, and I'm saying this, everyone's like Denver's going to be a movie or whatever it is, but like I legitimately think Denver is going to be one for the books, and I think that is going to be the best. That's going to be the pinnacle of, or at least for me, for the hobby, because I'm going to get to meet so many of these people and have so many drinks and make some trades, and it's just going to be like I can't even, like, words can't express how excited I am. One, I'm actually going out early to collect a con, but I'm leaving in 5 days now. I'm leaving for Long Beach, and then obviously, you know, Denver is less than a month after that. So I'm super, super excited for, you know, the events to come.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I could probably make it happen. My only fear is that, like, obviously, like, again, being a woman, you know, but if Thrifty's going, like, then problem solved.
Yeah, well, I mean, we can keep you safe from the incels. It'll all be good.
Yeah, fact.
So they're around every corner, every day. I watch my six, you know? It's
Yeah.
amazing.
No, I mean, in the event, what I will say is, like, I'm speaking for the pop-up shop here, but I mean, there was, I don't know, it was all good vibes there. Like that, like everyone that I met there, people that are getting out of their house and touching grass are typically good people at that point. So
True.
Yeah,
The weirdos don't go to conventions. Like the really weird people. They stay
Yeah.
on Discord.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
I've seen some Instagram pictures, but
I'll say this: what's really funny is my best friend. He's really big into working out, really big into CrossFit, and whatnot. And he was like, he respects, you know, the aspect of the hobby, you know, me like being into this, and like doesn't have any negative feelings or connotations towards it by any stretch of the means. But what I thought was funny was when I was in line at the pop-up shop, he kind of gave me a little bit of crap before, and he was like, "Oh, you're going to this nerd convention," like just kind of, you know, cutting up. We make fun of each other. That's how we, you know, that's what guys do. And I was talking to three guys with my ex-girlfriend in line at the time, and I was like, so I was like, "Hey, what do you do for a living?" You know, we're just like talking and, you know, cutting up, and they're like, "Oh, well, we're all three CrossFit instructors." So I messaged them, and I was like, "Hey, man," I was like, "You're telling me I'm at this nerd convention, but the three guys I'm talking to right now are CrossFit instructors." I just thought it was super funny.
Oh, yeah, no, it's crazy. The people that are into the hobby that you would never expect. Like a couple of my friends who are like the people like I'd like least expect, like similar, you know, CrossFit trainer vibes, big like steroid guy, like does not look like someone who would be into trading cards, but like so obsessed with it. Like always randomly texting me pictures of cards that he's gotten. So it's really cool that like pretty much anybody can be into this hobby, and I think that's great because like so many people got into it as kids, and like you change so much from when you're a kid. So it's really cool to see like that people don't change in like every regard, you know.
Heck yeah.
And there's also
So
people who just don't like. They have crazy collections, but they're not those people who just post like they don't have a Pokemon Instagram. They don't have anything like that. I remember Colson showed me a picture of a dude. It's like his Instagram was like his dinner, the beach, and then like a Crystal Charizard PSA 10. And it's like, where is this guy coming from? Like, they're just not public about it. Like, there's so many people out there.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I'll say this, and he signed my EX Deoxys acrylic case blister, but I have like Pokerev, Leonhardt, Deep Pocket Monster. I got to open up some Yu-Gi-Oh packs with Ruxin. That was really cool. You know, if you go to an event, just people that you meet. And when I was talking to Rusty, TCA Gaming, he was like, hey, I can get, you know, Gym Mint. And I had like a 40-minute conversation with Gym Mint. But he's like, hey, I can get Charlie to sign it, Charlie Herlocker. Y'all all know him, maybe?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I had no idea who he was at the pop-up shop because I hadn't met the Spicy Boys yet. So, you know, I hadn't gone down this rabbit hole that we're in now. But I was like, who's Charlie? And when I was talking to Charlie and he was literally signing it, I was like, yeah, man. I was like, you know, I'm not familiar with who you are, or you know, I was like, do you have a YouTube channel?
You can sign it, dude. Yeah.
Well, no. Like Rusty was like, he was like boasting him up. He was like, yo, like Charlie's the man. Like, you want to get this guy's signature on this if you're trying to get like, you know, cool people in the hobby to sign this. And I was like, yeah, for sure. So I was just talking to him and I was like, you know, not sure who you are. Do you have like a YouTube channel? Do you have like an outlet? You know, stuff like that. He's like, no, not really, whatever. And then, you know, like several months later, I see him on Pawn Stars and I see he's got this crazy collection. And I'm like, man, if I had only known what you had, I would have loved to like, you know, talk and like pick your brain a little bit more. It'd have been so cool. Cause I think I talked to him for like 5 minutes in total.
Yeah, I feel like it's weird because, like, I feel like if you have a channel, people automatically give you a bit more authority. And, like, guys, I'm an idiot. So, like, be careful, you know?
If you have a channel, you're an idiot. So
that's true. That's a good rule of thumb. Colson, don't ever start one. Come on.
Yeah, I mean,
Take care.
also, okay, I had a question. So, what do you guys think about balding in the hobby?
prevalent.
Like going bald?
90%. I don't know. Colson, did you see that? And this was like the weirdest, like most like inside joke intros that I've ever done was on the last retro and Oak, the Into the Pokédex live. Did you see where I shouted you out on that?
Yeah, dude, I was pushing carts around the mall and I pulled up the stream. It was like, holy shit.
It was like there is what was it? There is a place, or there's a rumors of a place that exists in the hobby, or there's a rumor that a place exists called the Pokemon hobby where 90% of the hobby is balding. I like threw up a Colson chat where he said, "Why is 90% of the hobby balding?"
Well, because it's mostly men in their 30s.
Yeah, that is why.
Yeah.
I'm proud to say, not going bald yet. I've got a big forehead, but like, was born.
I have the
this way.
exact same hair as my grandpa, and he's not even sharing a shed of gray at 72 years old. So hairline should be on fleek. That's on my mother's side. So
yeah, you're good.
Yeah, everyone on my dad's side's completely bald. So that's why I had my hair down to here at like one point, because I was like, on the off chance I do go bald, and I can't give out the hairline check. I definitely need to have long hair at one point.
My dad has his hair, and he hardcore judges men who are going bald. He's like, if you're going bald at 30, you might as well just end it all.
This is getting dark. We need to change the subject.
Yeah.
Funny, I think.
So
we're gonna offend like 90% of the chat. Fuck.
Yeah.
These aren't my opinions. I'm just relaying information.
The numbers don't lie.
So Charvy, looking at your Instagram, I haven't talked with you a ton. So let me ask you this: when you say you sold majority of your collection, like, were you being serious? Like, you like actually sold a lot of stuff here recently, or were you just saying like you sold majority of the stuff that you you're just kind of consolidating like I am, because I'm selling a lot of stuff right now. I'm just consolidating into bigger cards and into my ultimate collection goal.
Yeah, so the plan was to consolidate. So there was, I was going to sell my 9s, get the 10, but when the 10 was boof, I sold the 10 and I have nothing. So, but I
Explain boof to the balding people in chat.
so boof is bad.
Okay. I just want to make sure they knew.
Okay. So I had to sell the 10 because I wasn't gonna. I had the card for like a few weeks, and then I got the flu and I was looking at it. I had the light up on it, and I looked at the bottom and there was like a dent, like from the bottom. Anyway, long story short, I sold it. So now, because of I've started buying like Weiss cards, and like I'm back at square one pretty much. But
Okay.
yeah. Also on PWCC, there's a really nice PSA 9 Slowking from Aquapolis. If you want to bid on that.
Who we got in the background over there? Who's that?
I thought you had COVID.
Oh yeah, I do. Oh yeah, I do have COVID as well.
Oh,
but anyway,
is that contagious? Can we get that through the stream?
Yeah, you can. So mask up.
I was
But
really
yeah,
I heard-
that's pretty much
trying
it.
to like immediately kick you out, but
I heard drinking more is like a mask. So
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, I would say the plan was to consolidate, but then when I got my Grail, it wasn't my true Grail. So yeah.
So what is your
And
grail? I guess I'll ask all you guys that.
Rosa PSA 10.
Oh yeah, I
That's-
also had a
that's
midlife
Charlie's
crisis. Right. Well, yeah, I wanted the Rosa PSA 10 full art.
What's
But
that?
I didn't buy that.
Oh, okay.
The
Yeah,
full
I see
art
the card.
trainer. Yeah.
Yeah. From Cosmic
But,
Eclipse or I don't Dream League.
No, we don't do the English. Yeah, the Dream League.
Yeah. we don't do the English. This is like completely off topic, and I don't even know why I'm saying this. I just thought it was really funny whenever it happened. But when I was 16, I worked at Texas Roadhouse. Are y'all familiar with that chain? Probably not you, Charvy.
Nope.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, so I worked at Texas Roadhouse. I was a busboy for like a year there, and one time, so when they have like these really good rolls, they have like it's called fresh baked bread. It's like a big like thing about like that they have. And one time, I grabbed some for them because it's you grab it for them before you sit down. It's up on this like countertop. I was like, yeah, let me grab you some bread. And this like Karen lady goes, we don't do bread. And I just thought, I don't know, I thought it was really funny because I was just like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know.
you're one
Yeah.
of those people who's like gluten free, even though they're like not allergic to gluten. I don't get
Oof.
that. That's weird.
Oh, DNA.
This is also we've basically devolved into being the Discord voice chat at this point.
Yeah,
literally.
yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
No, it's
Super-
okay. It's
super
fine.
degenerate.
It's 12 a.m. It's officially in the time for that to be acceptable. The only
Okay.
people watching right now are the types of people who I'm guessing are okay with that.
Well, I picked up one more subscriber from Discord chat memes. So
Oh,
we're good.
nice.
Move.
Congrats.
Yeah.
You're 301 now?
Yeah, 301, baby. Woo-woo.
Guys, come on. We can get
Oh,
another
yeah.
5. Everyone
Subscribe to
go
me.
You're
Join.
free.
Yeah.
unsub from me, go subscribe to him.
Now join the Patreon and subscribe to me. That way we can get Ava to Denver. No, but do you like what are percentage chances that you think you'll actually end up at Denver? Just out of curiosity.
How much? Okay, let's break down the costs. And this is on a weekend, presumably, right? Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
we're not going to finish the first question? No one said the Grails.
Oh shit! Yeah. my
Oh,
bad.
okay.
Oh crap! Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, crud.
I'm complete degen at this point. All right, Ava, what's your grail?
Man, probably one would be 10s of all the crystals.
Oh wow, that's a big goal.
Yeah. Well, let's settle for 9s. We'll say 9s. We're talking grails as in things
Nah.
that are like dream come true, never gonna happen. But you know what? I'm trying to make a lot of money in my career, so it could happen.
Yeah.
And then another would be PSA 10 master set of every Entei card. The problem is, every time there's a set where Entei, Raikou, and Suicune are all in it, I feel compelled to get all of them, which makes that goal almost 3 times as more expensive, unfortunately. So don't know if that one's ever going to happen either.
Money's never
Got
an
it.
issue. You'll get it.
Yeah, you got it.
Thanks, guys.
No,
My
Right,
turn.
who's next? Come on. Yep.
Come on, next.
So real question here. So what's your opinion on Split Earth Raikou? That's probably my favorite card in Split Earth.
super movie.
Oh, dude.
Is
Yeah,
that
super
the
movie for sure.
one-
It's really affordable in a 10
I know
to in
it is.
comparison.
Yeah, it
Dude,
is,
it's
yeah.
such a good card.
That's the one was that in Skyridge in English?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right?
Mhm.
Oh, that card's sick.
That
Dude,
card's S tier,
oh my God.
100%. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, the Suicune like really was a letdown compared to the Entei. I think also looks super sick.
Oh,
The
don't say
style-
that. That's Retro's Grail. Retro
That's like,
sticks.
yeah, I have a few copies of that card. It's so awesome. Like,
I thought Retro's Grail was the Crystal Nidoking.
Oh, he
He
doesn't
needs
even
to own
know
it
what he
first.
wants anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, if he's still in chat, I can grab it and show him mine if he wants to see it. But no.
I
But,
thought it was the Fortress PSA 10, but that's on eBay.
dude,
I
he's
think
still
it's
in here. He
sold.
put dot.
That's
Yeah.
You
Coulson,
guys-
But yeah,
hurry up.
yeah, I don't really have a Grail because I don't know. I think I heard Dan say this on a live here recently, but like I think it was in the lottery video. I could be dreaming all day, but dreams aren't. Dreams should be goals and not necessarily realistic. But if I had like a Grail, I think I don't know, Coulson. If you're ready, you can answer. That takes some
Yeah,
thought.
sure.
I haven't really been thinking. That's my fault.
I really like. Do you guys know like some of those stadium cards that are hollow that were released like Championship Arena? in
Yeah,
Japanese?
with like
It was,
the Algapalkia, Celebi,
Yeah.
Mew, is it? Yeah.
yeah, both of those I really want, and I want like the Burn Tower and Indigo Plateau, like to have like a full set of just those hollow stadiums. I don't know what about it, but those stadiums look so sick. Like I don't know why stadium cards are cool to me. Also, Cynthia's Feelings. If you know that one,
Yeah, that
It's
one
like
is. Yeah, that's a Grail.
but that one's like
actually.
$50K, so I'm kind of
Oh,
good
yeah.
on that. So
We can go halves,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah,
Dude, you're listing all
Yeah.
these cards that I don't know off the top of. Dude, that card's sweet.
yeah. In Japanese, it's like really. It's
So
like
is
some
it
kind
a-
of pro-
Is it a
like
trophy
event
promo or?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
That's really cool, man. I've never seen that before. I need to talk to you more. I need to figure out these cards that I don't know what I'm talking
Hell
about.
yeah,
Yeah,
dude.
Coulson's a genius.
Yeah, I see that. From Target to Millionaire. Hell yeah, dude.
Dude,
Yep.
I was the weird kid in middle school who like looked at set lists and like tried to memorize the cards in them when I was like 12 and 13. So like it's kind of all just like in my head. I was just such
Yeah.
a weirdo, dude.
Yeah, why would you study algebra 2 when you can know about Cynthia's whatever you just said? I don't even know what
Yeah,
you said.
dude.
Cynthia's
Exactly.
feelings. Yeah. But no, I think my Grail item, I guess you could say, would be like an EX Deoxys box, just because of Deoxys is my favorite Pokemon. I do have an empty Deoxys box over here that I bought online a while back. I have it in like an acrylic display, like all my boxes that I have. But I think that'd be really, really cool to own. I just can't like reasonably fork up the amount of
Yeah, there's
money
no-
that would
no
cost.
way.
Yeah,
50K, 60K, like
they're like
Oh,
35K,
that's money.
like in
Oh,
actual.
really?
Yeah,
Okay,
I mean
okay,
it's a ton of money, but like there's even if I had like 5, 10, $20 million, like spending 35K on a Deoxys box just makes no sensible sense. Like it just that
yeah,
doesn't
get, like,
do
financial
it.
freedom.
You've
sounds
got
better
the
than
empty
that.
box already though, so just stack
Yeah.
like Fusion Strike packs in it, seal it up, put it in that case, dude. There's no difference.
And sell it on PWCC. They won't know what's going on, right?
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no
yeah.
clue.
Yeah.
Put some little red stickers on the side. You're good.
yeah. I'll grab it real quick. But Oak had a question. Yeah, it's pinned up. So if you want to answer that.
Yeah, that was a really, really good question. So I, felt compelled to put it up there. Do you guys want to start? Do you guys collect anything outside of cards?
You go, Kelsey.
I just bought like 64 Shikishi Pokemon art boards on Bai.
We got
Hell
Um,
yeah.
real quick. We got a sealed one.
Hey,
And then,
That's a funny looking Deoxys box.
yeah. No, and then here's my Deoxys box though.
Wow.
Oh yeah, see,
Hell
nobody
yeah.
would know, dude. If you had that like in the back, nobody would know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with it in the plastic box.
Yeah, there you go.
My table is a disaster now. I have so many things that I've just randomly grabbed. But anyways, Colson, sorry.
No, I like plushies. Like my girlfriend likes plushies. Like we have them like, oops,
That's
like on this
flexing.
whole thing, just like a bunch of plushies and stuff. Yeah, I don't know. I just like art. Like art's really sick. Those Shikishi boards, tap in. Those are super sick.
It is super cool.
What's your favorite one? I like the Rayquaza.
I like the Rayquaza a lot. The Lugia
Yeah.
too. Yeah.
I think I have 8 or 9 of them. So where's it at? So I have here you go, Ava. I got the
that one's sick.
Suicune, Raikou Entei. I got the Raichu Pikachu. I got the Gengar. I love
You're
this
gonna
one.
send
This
me
one.
that, right?
That one's cool, yeah.
I mean, I can look at my cost basis and we can talk from there.
Yeah.
All right.
I got the
can
Ninetales, and then I got the Jirachi, now the Deoxys up there in my Deoxys display.
Yeah.
I do need that,
Yeah, I'll look at my
They're
cost
pretty
basis and
cheap.
we can talk.
Put it on your Amazon wish list.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put something on your calendar.
There
Sorry,
you go.
that's
Sounds
something
good.
I say at my office all the time, and it's just been like ingrained into my brain as a stupid meme. So in terms of collecting things outside of Pokemon cards, though, like still in Pokemon, I do collect some plushies, not that many, but also remount figures. Got
What
a
is
good
that?
amount of
I
those.
don't know. What is that?
Oh my god!
Oh, I
You
know
spell
those.
it?
I love those.
No, I'll be right back. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna bring some.
Right
up.
Here. You
Right
can
there.
you can also share your screen if you wanted to do that. That's also an option, but you can grab it too. What'd you say?
I don't want to do that, and I think you have to pay to do that. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think
Nice.
you do, but yeah, as far as like non-Pokemon, I'll answer while she's waiting. While she's doing that. I have some weird toys from like the 1990s. I have like a couple 1995 like Japanese sealed like Misty Ash figures somewhere. I think they're in my like storage of my sealed product.
Nice.
I have these. I got Spider-Man sealed Game Boy games. I think these are kind of cool. I got
sick,
one
yeah.
and I got 1 and 2 right here. I'm gonna grade them when Wada quits being a dirty grader and they
A
get keys down.
black hole
Yeah.
of turnaround time.
Yeah. I'm honestly just waiting until CGC opens up. I'm probably gonna start buying a lot of sealed games because whenever CGC starts like opening up for sealed games, I think I'm gonna full send like a bunch of stuff because I feel like
Yeah.
the market for that is just waiting to be tapped into, and I feel like they're gonna overtake. Let me take a big step back here. I don't collect rated video games, but from a trading card standpoint, if you do collect CGC, whether it be comic books or trading cards, and you do like sealed games, that's an automatic entry, no-brainer point to where you can just like shift into that. And they've also talked about grading VHS tapes and several different other things here recently. So I think it's gonna be pretty cool whenever they start doing that. I played these games as a kid. I also have I can grab them, but I have like the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy game. I like grew up watching that show.
Sick. Yeah,
I have a SpongeBob game, and then I have Ed and Eddie sealed video game too that I have all in these acrylic cases. They're over here, but
Nice. Yeah.
yeah, I got them for like $25-$30 a piece, and I was like, yeah, this is a snap call.
Yeah.
Oh, we
this
got
is nice.
Basic and Mason in chat
Oh.
now. What's good, boys?
All right. Time for some show and tell. So
All right.
Let's hit it.
these
Let's hit
are
it.
remount figures.
Yep.
Oh,
Oh,
high
nice.
quality. This one's Mew. Very
Did-
good stuff.
Did Max
Oh,
Mofo
yeah,
show those
I
off
see
at
it,
one
I see
point?
definitely-
Maybe.
Yeah.
I
Here's
think
another one.
Max Mofo did those. Oh, that's really
Ooh.
cool.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So the cool thing
Whoa.
about these is they're actually like super affordable for the quality if you buy them
Yeah.
straight from Japan. Bai, another great thing to buy on there. This is something I bought a bunch. So I probably got like 20 something of these, but like when you're buying them from Japan, it's like hella cheap. You can get them for like
Yeah.
before tax is like $5 or $6 USD per, and the quality is like really good for that. Obviously, you have to pay like fees because it's like not that small of packaging, so the shipping is a little
Yeah.
pricey. But that's like one type of figure I like particularly because they also come in sets, so they're like all themed together. like different ones, which is another cool thing about it. Then I also collect some other figures. This is just like random box from moving that has some of these in them that are just like these types of things. I have a lot of different ones, but
How do you spell
sick.
that? The figure.
Hell yeah.
Remant, you said?
Rement, like REMENT.
Okay.
And then these are like some German brand, like Schleich. I think you can get them at like a lot of toy stores though. But the new ones that they're coming out with, not as cool as the old ones. But I don't have a lot of those with me right now, so I can't really show those. But I do like to collect things in general. So yeah. And
So
also
you said they're like
Yu-Gi-Oh
$5 or $6
each.
with the Pokemon ones? Yeah. So how much do they sell for on eBay? Like, is
I don't
that
know. It depends on
play?
the one. The Charizard one's probably pretty expensive. I
He's
would
trying to flip them.
Well, no. But
Wait,
Yeah,
wait. So $5 or $6 is that a play on eBay or?
Yeah, so
Well, no, you know,
let's
if it's
go
cost,
through and
like,
let's
$30.
check eBay.com.
What's your
Okay.
cost basis versus the margin you would sell on eBay for?
No, yeah. And the nice thing though is like they're like random, but you know in every box there's gonna be one of each, so it's actually kind of great.
Yeah.
I'll tell you how much a Charizard remote figure goes for. Like $26.
That's
on eBay.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's a snap
Jesus.
call.
Yeah, this one is $25 plus $18 for shipping. Oh my god. They're selling one of these boxes for $90 plus $50
Good
shipping.
night.
But they're
And
in
I paid
comps?
like I paid like $25 or like no, maybe $30 for them. So
Good night. Yep.
Untapped
I'm going on right
Market.
now.
Okay, new business venture.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
there you
on
go.
my way right
Who
now.
needs Pokemon cards?
You-
But
you're
those are in the
getting
background of a lot of my old videos back when I had a real
Yeah.
display.
you're getting Colson in retrospect on those for sure.
No, they're really cool.
They're all gone. I can't buy them
Yeah.
anymore.
Dude, I already bought like all the Sakishis that I could ever
Yeah.
need. So good night, dude.
The hobby is ruined for me forever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Sorry to
I'm
hear.
sorry that I ruined it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, this is
So-
why you guys aren't real collectors.
Yeah.
I'm a real
Right.
collector, 100%. Yeah. Real collector, 100% here. And I'm about to come out with a video. It's a video I've been working on for like literally almost a month now. I'm getting really, really picky on how I edit my videos with my time that I do have. I've been incredibly busy in other areas. But the next video I'm going to come out with is how to become a serious Pokemon collector. I got that right behind me, bro. Don't even make me pull it out. I
Yeah.
love that card so much. But it's how to become a serious Pokemon collector in 5 steps. And isolation is a really big one. And Ava's touched on this a little bit. But I think that, I don't know if that was like a meme. Yeah. Why are you saying that?
Yeah. I thought you were like calling everybody a loner, but I wasn't following.
No, I was
Keep going,
saying the video is how to become a serious Pokemon collector in 5 easy steps, or 5 simple steps, something along the lines of that. Is that Flygon?
Yes. I'm
Fly
just going
guy.
to
Yeah.
do this. You keep talking. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Show everybody.
So basically, I think the most important thing in collecting, and you can say it's, you can call me a flipper, dirty collector, whatever you want to say. I don't care, but I think isolation, and this is something that people don't talk about a lot, is the most important thing in the hobby. And the reason that I say that is because if you don't have a goal in mind when you go into collecting something and you are new and you don't have a lot of, background knowledge into what you are collecting, or even if you do have background knowledge, it's so easy just to buy everything. And if you don't have a collector mindset going into it of, hey, I want to obtain this, you're just going to have a bunch of random stuff. And your collection is going to look very disorganized, and it's going to look very, it's just not going to be what it could be if you had a goal in mind. So I think if you go into collecting, like with what I said, or like what I'm trying to obtain, for example, is, all of the Japanese E-Series first edition cards in PSA 10, it doesn't have to be something that lofty and something that obtainable and something stupid because I'm an idiot for going after that. But like, it's more or less, it's like, if you go in with a specific goal in mind and you just go after that, or, it's not bad to stray away here and there, but, I think that doing that, long-term is really, really cool, because when you achieve that, it's like, I worked really hard towards something versus looking at a bunch of bulk or whatever you want to say, or a bunch of bags, and just be like, I have all this stuff and I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. It's just like, it's like anything in life. It's like, hey, I want to work towards this goal versus I like this. I'm just going to buy a bunch of stuff that I like that I think is at a good price. That's my take on it.
Yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
I mean-
agree entirely.
Yeah, well, it's like
I know.
it's kinda how
I'm
was
talking
as
to
well.
one last thing. I'm talking to like one collector here, that being Ava. So, yeah. So,
Yeah.
Oh. We've got at least 2 in the chat, I'm sure.
yeah.
No, but that makes so much sense to me. Like, if I think also like I think I said this to you earlier today, but like a lot of times like I won't watch that many videos from other PokeTubers because like especially ones that are like more investment type or like more analytical like that, because I don't want to just like entirely affect like my opinions, but I also don't want other people like affecting like the things that I want to buy, because it's also constantly so fleeting. Like it's always something different every single video, so you're never going to be able to find like your thing and like have something that you consistently care about to like look at. And that's also part of why like flipping isn't something I do that much, because like I want at any given point to like all the cards that I have, right? I feel like a lot of times with flipping, it's really just like, is this a movie?
Yeah.
Yeah, facts.
I don't want to talk like a lot or get in like a soapbox here, but I'll say 2 things, and I actually haven't said this live before. This is kind of funny, and you mentioned this earlier, is why I'm mentioning this. But you said that you don't, and you can think down upon me or whatever you want for doing this. Doesn't make a difference to me, but it's more or less. I'm talking to Ava, but like you mentioned earlier, like you don't buy things that you don't want. I buy a lot of things that I don't want because I know there's optimization within them, and if I can sell them to fund my ultimate collection, not like in a dirty way. Like I'm going to get in trouble if I talk about dirty ways of collecting. I've kind of a hot mouth when it comes to that stuff, but no, I don't want to say it.
This chat that's going to tattle on you, you know?
Yeah, I mean, we have, how many people are watching right now? We got 39
30.
watching. Yeah, at least 2 of them are tattletales in here. So, no, but in all sincerity, I buy a lot of things that I don't want, and grade them, or optimize them as of recent, just because I want to be able to fund my collection, not have to go over budget, and not have to pull out of personal funds to do so. And what I was going to say that I haven't said before is, what's really funny is I bought a lot of Hidden Legends cards, because what I personally like to do as far as collecting goes is I like to go after sets or cards that people haven't done before, such as completing Hidden Legends and PSA 10 holofoil set. There legitimately wasn't a set in the registry for just holofoils. It's just a master set for Hidden Legends. And I think it had like 75% complete. And then I was like, in order for me to obtain E-Series and PSA 10, I'm going to have to consolidate a lot of my cards. And I still do have the Machamp. I have the Celebi Holo and the Celebi Reverse, which are like super low pop in PSA 10 that I've, I both graded myself. The Clay Dolls I didn't, because I didn't get any PSA 10 worthy cards out of those. But I do have that in Holo and Reverse. But I legitimately sold off a ton of my Hidden Legend stuff. And about 3 to 4 months prior to that, I reached out to PSA and I was like, hey, I'm trying to complete this. Can you guys help me set up this registry for just the specific holofoil set, because there wasn't an option? And I reached out to them 2 additional times after that. And I was like, hey, just following up on this. And like, hey, yeah, it's been approved. We're going to work on it. Reached out to them again. I was like, hey, it's been 30 days, just kind of, feeling out when this is going to happen. They're like, hey, it's been approved once again. We're just working. I was like, hey, cool, no worries. So I came to the conclusion that I was going to break up the set and sell it off. So no cap, as soon as I sent them off on consignment, 2 days after, they were like, hey, great news, we approved your set registry. We can get this approved. I was like, oh my God. I was like, yeah. So I probably would have like obtained that and achieved it after, because I really, really like the PSA set registry. It's not influencing what I'm collecting. It's more or less, it's just like a really cool aspect to add to it. I thought they were just going to pull a grading company and not fulfill their promises, to be honest. But yeah, so that's how I kind of collect, is I like to do stuff that's like never been done before, such as like Split Earth. I'm legitimately the only person in the registry. As far as One from the Sea, I'm number 2, and that guy is chasing after the Tyranitar. I'm also going after the Tyranitar and the Crystal Lugia. So I think doing like first in the hobby is a really, really cool thing to kind of like go after, because I can be like, hey, I'm the only person who's done this, and this is a really cool thing to try to go after. That's just my take on it, as full on collector boy as it gets.
Yeah. Well, okay. I'm
Sorry for the
not-
soapbox.
No. I'm not offended or looking down on you. So I should like amend that and say that's what I'm doing now. Like back in the old days, you know.
And I'm listening.
A lot more things that I was turning around quickly because I was selling more things, and I just wanted to like grow my collection quickly. But like now, I don't even like saying this, but like I'm like pretty busy because I go to college full time. Last year I had like 2 jobs. So one was like 20 hours a week internship, and then I was also an RA, and my school's like pretty intense. So I just didn't have time to be doing like that much like active buying and selling. And if I did, like, I think that would make way more sense. But like, you know, when I'm having all of these cards for like months at a time, it doesn't make like as much sense, I would say, as it does like when you're like actively going through, if that makes sense. So like, not judging anybody who does that. That's just like, this is my current personal strategy. And I just want to be transparent with that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Got anything to say, Colson?
I mean, I don't, dude. I just tried to collect so many different things, and I just never finished anything.
Yeah.
Like, because I would just buy a good deal when it came up for a minty card that I thought could 10. So I was like slowly building up so many different mini goals to the point where I never had that feeling of like, oh, I finished this, I accomplished this. So I just am gonna sell it. Like, I don't know. I want to complete goals. Like, I think that's really important as like a collector. So just trying to figure out what that is right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know if you heard any of what was just said, by the way.
I have Bluetooth earbuds, so I heard everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just went to the bathroom.
Also, Charvy, why would you get murdered if you had Tinder? Just
I was
curious.
just typing that out in YouTube
Because I have
chat.
a
Yeah.
girlfriend, that's why. Dude, if I got
Okay.
caught, there's no shot.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
People are like, hey, I saw you in Avas chat. What's up?
Yeah, I'm done. It's over. Delisting this off YouTube. But yeah, I'll copyright strike it. But
And
beyond
Ava, that
DNA's point.
that chat's still thrown up on screen, by the way.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the pin chat.
How do I?
Yeah,
do I have to like go and scroll all the way up to it? Oh, I got it. Never mind.
Yeah, there's a hide button.
Yeah. I'm learning slowly but surely. But going back to your question way earlier about Denver, so like break down the cost to me, and then I'll give you a percentage. We'll do some analysis here.
This goes
How much-
for
how much is it?
anybody watching right now. I use the Southwest credit card. I pretty much only fly Southwest. So if you need a referral card to get some additional points, hit me up. Instagram, Pokemon_DNA, Discord. No,
We're
I'm just messing
pyramid
with y'all.
streaming this? Is that what we're doing?
If I get in and then you get in, you can refer some additional friends, and then we all get points. No, I'm totally kidding. But
No.
on a serious note,
I've got a bunch of rewards points on this that I need to use for travel. So
yeah, don't flip that over. Yeah.
Really, I accidentally almost didn't cover my name the first time. So
yeah.
I want everyone to find out my name.
Oh yeah, it would take it easy.
No, but on a serious note, if you do sign up, like removing all like jokes aside, I use my Southwest credit card for legitimately everything. Just obviously paid off every single month. Build up the points. I travel a decent amount. I would say like 4 to 5 times a year, like in or outside the country. So getting up those flight points is like really, really important. So I'm getting free flights to Long Beach and free flights to Denver. So as far as like the cost basis on that, I don't know. What is that? What are we showing here? Is that Weiss?
Silica, yes. Yep. Kai was just moving me. Sorry, keep going.
But yeah, no, you're good. But no, so as far as flights, I don't know. But with Collecticon, for anybody who is watching who doesn't know, what's really cool is if you stay in tune on their website, they do have a discounted like partner hotel. So you can keep an eye out and you can save like, I think it's like $100 is what it saved me per night for Long Beach. Shout out to Basic Trainer because I didn't know that. and he's vending, and he gave me his login for that. So thanks, Basic, for saving me some money because you can hang out with the MetaZoo gang at their hotels. But yeah, no, yeah, I mean, there's a ton of different ways you can save money, but I mean, all it really is a hotel and a flight. I mean, obviously you have.
How much are tickets to the?
Oh shit, my bad. Yeah, sorry, I won't way into too much depth.
We can talk about credit cards for a while. I'm really into it.
Yeah.
I'm all set on that. But
Yeah.
keep going.
Same here. Yeah, all set. Basic throwing fire in the chat. Thank you, Basic. You're the goat. But no, I got a VIP ticket and it was like $100, I think, per term or per time. It wasn't bad at all. And if you want to vend, I think it's like 115
for the whole weekend.
Yeah, so VIP, you get like, I don't even know what it is. It's been several months since I bought the tickets, but you get like additional access, and I think you get an early too. But it's you get Saturday and Sunday. But if you buy a vending ticket, you can get it on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and you get to vend and have the additional access there.
That's really cool.
Yeah, at the Attic CTC, one more week for Collecticon. Woo woo! Feel that. I'm super excited, man.
Yeah. I mean, that sounds really cool, actually. Also, just talking about the credit card thing, I don't think I need the Southwest credit card. I'm already playing the credit card game. Also, guys, if we're going to talk about credit cards, like, we got to talk about it because you should really be optimizing your credit cards for your trading card purchases. Bank of America has one card where you get
I'm laughing at Charvy. Sorry.
I'm sorry. I've got it, though. I can't.
No, you're fine.
But Bank of America has one credit card where you can choose a category, and online shopping is an entire category you can choose and get 3% cash back on everything.
Ooh.
Discover has another card with rotating categories, and they're 5% back. And for one of the quarters, which is right now actually, PayPal, you get 5% back on everything you purchase through PayPal. Another great option is the Citi Double Cash card, 2% back on everything.
Not financial advice.
Not financial advice.
Yeah.
Just fun facts that aren't that fun. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Capital One, Chase, if you want to sponsor us, feel more welcome.
If Chase sponsored me, they gave me my first 5-figure credit limit. I was so proud of myself when I got that.
Heck yeah.
Heck
yeah.
I'm sure that's like not a big deal to a lot of people, but I was really proud. I didn't even have to ask.
So, completely changing the subject, we're also looking for some smiley faces on y'all's chat names. You can double click on your chat name in case you're wondering. Colson. Yeah. Anyways, Charvy, what are some of the difficulties about you? You're not a collectible anymore. You're just a spicy boy is what it sounds like. But what are some of the difficulties of you collecting in New Zealand versus being a U.S. collector?
Texas, obviously. Where I am.
You say Texas or Texas?
Texas, TAX. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just messing with you.
No, you're good. Everything over $1,000, any package that comes into the country gets slapped. You get 15. You have to pay 15% like goods and services tax. So unless you're buying friends and family PayPal and they do a little cheeky, yeah. And like even with like when I ship stuff from PWCC Vault to myself, the total insured value has to be under 1,000. Because even though I've paid for it and I own it, they don't care. Like I've tried to talk to them and they're just like, that's cool, but pay now.
Your option is to pay or just not have insurance.
Well, I can't tell PWCC to not insure me, but like if I bought something, if I bought something like privately, they could send it to me and declare it as 100. But then if it gets lost,
you're fucked.
I'm only insured for 100.
Sorry.
Yeah.
You'd be fine.
But yeah, also selling because I live in such a small country. It's just like a lot of mod and a lot of junk is where I made most of my money. Just like CGC9 Charmanders, like people love that. But yeah, if I was to get like a like a PSA 10 E series card tri-seller here, no shot. So I'd have to like send it over to the States, like consign it. Like I'm grading a lot through Colson, and when all those come back, those are just going to go like straight to ZNG or straight to Rusty. Like there's no point in me bringing them all the way back here because less money, less demand, and just that's pretty much the two biggest things. Is personal collecting is more expensive and selling is a lot harder.
I'll say, I'll add to that, and I'll say this much. No names here, right? No names. They're definitely in chat right now. Definitely in chat. But I just shipped out a giveaway here recently for one of my lives, or for my last giveaways, and I spent $27.98 on a giveaway overseas. And when they got hit with an import tax, I guess I labeled it wrong because I put trading cards, because there's like a bunch of different options. I use pirate ship for everything. I don't know if anybody in chat's familiar with that. But it saves me a bunch of money. And the import fees on a $45 item were $76, I think. So it cost me over $100 to ship $45 worth of products. And they reached out to me and they're like, hey, hey, can I ship this back to you? They were being like super, super courteous. The person was. They're like, hey, I want to ship this back to you. I don't want you to pay any additional money. Like, costing them money at that point to ship it back to me. I was like, dude, literally, don't worry, not a big deal. I was like, you won this free giveaway. I'm gonna make you whole. So I gave them the additional money. So it cost me like $100 and something to ship like an additional $45 product. So I was like, damn, bro. Yeah. Import taxes and fees and stuff like that really, really suck. It's really unfortunate for anybody who's trying to like enjoy the hobby as a whole, because I got shipped my Crystal Nidoking, for example, and they put a certain value on that card, and supposedly that value limit was over what technically should have been charged to me through import tax or customs or whatever it is, and it just showed right to my doorstep, and I didn't know anything, so I got really, really lucky. It was like only $200 over because they didn't put the full value limit. But when I asked them, I was like, hey, what's the value limit on this? They're like X amount, and I was like, oh my God, I was like, I'm going to pay import tax because of you idiot. Or because you being an idiot. And then luckily enough, it just showed up at my doorstep. So, man, that really sucks. So I don't want to take over Ava's stream, but I'm just like curious as myself, like in New Zealand versus like other countries, like, are there a lot of like local eBay deals, or do you find a lot of the items that you are purchasing, like from eBay, like directly, like to you and like local buys?
So we don't use eBay here at all. Like, there's no eBay.
Yeah.
So, like Australia does, they're way bigger than us, but here we don't, like, nobody uses it. Like, I don't use it to sell. We have like our own thing called Trade Me. It's like eBay, but a lot more dumbed down. But it also works to my advantage because there's no sales comps. Like, we don't have TCG Player, we don't have Troll and Toad. So if I'm the only one listed, who else are you going to buy from? You like
Troll and Toad is goated. No sales tax on internet purchases. FYI, sorry.
Yep.
Yeah, but yeah, so we don't have any of that. So that's how, like, trying to sell, like, for you guys, if you were to list like Modern on your eBay, people would just kind of go to TCG Player instead. Whereas like for me, there's nowhere else for people to buy that kind of stuff. So it makes it a lot easier to move those kind of things. But yeah, so I find a lot of my stuff just on Facebook, usually, like Facebook collections, and then I buy a lot, or I used to buy a lot from PWCC, and then ship it back over here, and then just charge heaps for it, and it would sell, because what are they going to do? They're either going to go on eBay and pay like $35 shipping for a CGC9 Charmander, or they're going to buy from me for $50. Like, what are you going to do? But yeah, I hope that answers the question.
So you're the ultimate dirty flipper, is what I'm hearing. You're taxing hard, is what I'm hearing.
Right there.
Yeah, well, it's like you just go, like on my PWCC vault, like last week there was a whole bunch of BGS 9.5 Charizards, like Cantonese promos. I bid $11 on every single one, and I won like 8 of them. I'll just ship those over here, sell them for $50-$60 each. Easy.
So what I'm hearing is H22 last sale was a lot more over in New Zealand.
I actually just shipped that to Norway.
Did you really?
Because yeah, no one would buy that here. It's so expensive. But yeah.
Yeah. Ava, the floor is yours. You haven't talked in a while.
I'm fading. It's almost 1 a.m.,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, run it.
Oh,
I'm
that's
a morning person. No, but let's end with one last good topic of conversation. All right. Anyone got any ideas?
Least,
I was expecting a good follow up there, but
Yeah.
That was the joke.
yeah.
do least favorite card in the hobby.
All right, now let's do this. So, does
Ooh.
anybody in chat have any questions? We can chill for a few minutes. If anybody in chat has a serious question,
Yeah.
I think Oak asked
was
one like
gonna say-
way earlier.
Sorry, go ahead. Oh,
No, I don't know
yeah.
where it's at.
Feel bad because
I've been missing out in chat the last like 30 minutes.
90%
like,
of the questions
RIP
maybe
Charvy.
aren't to us is the funny thing. I love how chat always has its own thing going. It's really fun to read.
Yeah, we're talking about like serious stuff. No, they were talking about glizzies. You know, we're just
Okay. Okay, here's one. So were you guys, clearly everyone in this conversation is like relatively in to the whole side hustle thing, some degree of like personal finance, all of those things, that you care about the financial side, like whether that's your number one priority or not, you wouldn't be here if you didn't. Is that something you guys were always into, or like is this a newer thing for you? And like also like growing up, like I feel like a lot of times it's a lot of people who are very like mathy. Is that what you guys were like, or is this something that's kind of just like unexpected for you?
who's going first? Counter or clockwise?
I'll go.
You start-
I can go.
Okay, yeah, run it.
So I actually started flipping clothes first, like 1 year after high school.
Charvie's
So I've
vintage,
had-
everybody.
Yeah, I've been selling clothes for like 4 years. That's like my main business. So when I got into cards, it was just like, because I used to collect vintage T-shirts first, and then I started selling them, and that's how I made my business. But then, so the same thing happened with cards. I started collecting cards, and then I'm like, oh, I can sell these and collect cards. So it's just that's kind of how it happened. It was the exact same process.
What about you, Colson?
I was always interested in like making money when I was growing up, but I didn't know how to do it. Like my mom never really taught me much, and she didn't know too much. She just like knew how to like save money. She was a really good saver, never spent on herself, only spent on like the family, and just like saved. So it's funny, Pokemon kind of taught me like everything. When I got like, I failed in like sneaker and clothing reselling. I failed when I went to the stock market, and then I came to Pokemon, and like I just learned, like I kind of just learned financial literacy from there. Like I found like the Pokenomics channel, and just started learning about how markets actually work. And yeah, like it's pretty crazy to say that like Pokemon taught me how to like the world works, how money works, like it's nuts.
We can't hear you.
You're muted.
What was the question? Sorry, I was chatting in Discord.
Like, have you always been interested in like financial literacy, business, like side hustles, like that type of thing? Because I know a lot of people are.
Yeah.
Or it's kind of unexpected for you.
So I'll give a short, quick answer. Whenever the boom happened, there's a negative connotation about a lot of people. Not really a negative connotation. It's more of a true connotation about people who hopped in during the boom, that they paid way too much and they, sold or own a bunch of product that is worth less. I learned a lot through the crypto boom of 2017, 2018. Because if you relate that boom to now, it is almost identical. It's when there is a lot of hype surrounding something, more or less, you're too late. And I applied a lot of the analytics of what I learned during that time to now. There were a lot of good plays then and a lot of terrible plays then, just like there are in Pokemon, because if you're saying that you've always made good plays, you always bought low and you sold high, you're lying or you're
Capping.
a genius. Yeah, one of the
super
two.
liar.
Yeah, super liar. So exactly. Yeah, we're all on the same page. So I applied a lot of those analytics and a lot of those, things that I've learned during that time towards this. And until the pop-up shop and until I actually started talking to people in the hobby, I didn't really start flipping stuff. I was, probably 95% collector boy. and now I'm probably like 40% spicy, 10% collector, and 50% seller. If the math's right on that. If it's not, I'm sorry. But yeah, so I just mainly I mainly started getting into selling, being a net seller here recently, and net flipper, I guess you could say. But the net flipper is to fund the collection. It's not to make a profit or run a business or start a business, because that's not what I want to obtain or what I want to do at all. There's been a lot of priority shift focuses within even the last 3 months. But until probably about a year ago, I didn't really start buying and flipping stuff. I was more of just a net buyer and trying to get good deals on auctions. So that's my quick sum up.
Yeah, no, those are all really great answers. I suppose I should also answer this question. I don't think it's surprising, but like this has always been something I'm interested in, and like also because like I grew up broke because like my parents lost everything in like '08, so it's like if I wanted things, like I had to be like thrifty, like go thrift shopping, all those things. So it was always like
Thrifty.
Get it. Yeah.
Thrifty's in chat. Let's get thrifty.
You either get a deal or you don't. Oh, so many of my clothes are still thrifted. Like it's a lot like higher end stuff than it used to be, but like still like I feel like that, and also like the thrill of the hunt like never went away. And like also like Charvy, I used to sell purses before trading cards, but trading cards are way more fun. Like you can make a decent amount on purses, like if you're able to find the right deals, but trading cards are just way more fun. And like like I don't think it's surprising because like I work in finance, like I worked in value investing, so I was always trying to find things that were undervalued, and I love carrying that over here and like trying to find ways to be analytical with trading cards which don't have any intrinsic value because they don't have cash flows, but like trying to quantify their value I think is something that's super cool. And like I've always had like weird jobs and stuff, so I think that's
you just lagged out super hard.
I think that was you.
I think that was you as well.
Me?
Yeah,
That was you.
closed and everyone else was fine.
Okay, well, YouTube and everything just lagged at once, so I didn't hear anything
Right.
you just said. So I'm sorry.
Where'd I cut?
I literally said uh-oh in chat. I thought you because all of you lagged at once. But anyways, yeah, sorry. I don't know what just happened.
I cut off, I guess.
It doesn't matter. Just run with it. Yeah, I'm the lagger here. I can rewatch.
Yeah, but so like to me, it's just like natural how my brain works. So I think it's funny when people say that ruins the hobby for them, but like that's a big part of it for me. Like I still like go thrift shopping now, even though like I can afford not to, or like buy things from like consignment online all the time, because like it's all about that value for money,
Yeah.
For sure.
It feels good saying I have this thing and I also got a great deal on it.
Yeah, that's the best feeling.
Yeah.
So, good stuff all around. Any final questions that we got?
Just the chat trolling, probably.
Yeah, everyone's like DNA's got ass internet stream is what I'm seeing. So
Yeah, broke boy, collector boy internet.
yeah, collector boy internet. that Goodwill internet for sure.
Yeah. Thank you, Oak. I wish you had stayed on longer, but I think this was a really good stream overall. We've hit 3 hours. This is like a PR for me, I think, in terms of streams.
Hell yeah.
It's a long time.
Yeah. Tennessee internet is ran with squirrels on hamster wheels, 100%. I got Eve. Eve is actually running my internet. Her rodents got tired and my internet lagged out.
Yeah, dude, I'm paying $80 a month for internet for one person right now. So
Yeah, I'm not paying anything. It's her hamsters running my internet.
Though is like 25. So pretty proud. Before that, I was
that's
school Wi-Fi. Not good.
That's the first lag I've ever had, though. I'm plugged in. That's really weird. I've never had that happen before, but yeah, I don't have any more questions.
Yeah. Do you guys have any final comments, or are we good to end it here? I'm sure there's going to be some more degeneracy happening on Discord after this, but
I don't know. I'm pretty toasty right now, but I appreciate the additional 7 subscribers. I'm at 302 now, so
Hey,
Let's go.
3 more.
Papa bless
Congrats.
everybody.
Oh.
Thank you.
One last time, just for everyone. Yeah, Agent Crypto, we don't do financial advice on this channel. I've never given financial advice in my life, and I never will. I don't want to lose my job. Thank you.
Yeah, same here. I would get in a lot of trouble if I was showing
Yeah.
financial advice. But what I can tell you is, don't buy Japanese e-reader. Japanese e-reader is the worst
no.
move in the hobby.
Never. Yeah.
Super
You should tell
bad
all your
investment.
you should tell all your friends to never bid on any Japanese e-reader auctions until I complete mine, and then bid them up. So yeah, that's all I gotta say.
Yeah. Also, guys, a fun fact is actually
Sorry.
that every time Entei was ever printed, it was printed 10 times more than any other card in the set.
Oh, hell yeah.
So really,
Yeah.
if you actually
Fair.
were aware of that, you'd realize that all of these cards are so overvalued, which is why you should sell them to me now while you can.
Yeah. Yep. Facts.
Awesome.
Sell everything.
Yeah.
The hobby.
Yeah,
All right. On that note,
hobbies
thank
for
you
sale.
guys, everyone,
thank
so
you.
much for coming. Made my first stream with other people. I feel like a great success. Hopefully everyone else agrees.
Hell
But
yeah.
thank you guys so
Blast.
much. All right.
Cool.
I'm going to end the broadcast now.